Care, providing excellence in eye care on Falcon Avenue in Carmi. Visit TaylorEyeCare.com for more information. Me and Chris are coming to you live from the Carmi Lumber broadcast booth, helping to assemble and shape a better community. That's Carmi Lumber. Before you drive a nail, drive to Carmi Lumber on 3rd Street in Carmi. Well, Chris, very deja vu as far as where we were in Week 8 last year. Bulldogs in Johnston City. Of course, back then, both teams were undefeated. Both teams tonight are 7-1. Both teams with 2-point losses to Cesar-Valliere, who is probably going to beat Florida tonight to win the conference outright. But, you know, you talk about the toughest opponent Carmi has had to face this year by far. I think even though they've lost to Cesar, Johnston City has, they're the toughest team Carmi has seen.
Without question, and by that, we're just talking about the physically demanding task that's going to be before the Bulldogs tonight, because this Johnston City team is just like a slow-moving combine. We were talking about this before tonight, Cole. It's harvest season in Southern Illinois, and you see how the farmers, their offense is this foot-to-foot, double-wing wedge, and it's like a combine going through the field, chewing up anything in its path. It's just going. And it's chewing up the corn, chewing up the beans, and all of a sudden you see the seed spitting out the side. That's how this offense is. They'll chew up 4 yards here, 5 yards there, 6 yards here, and all of a sudden, boom. Fullback, tailback could get loose for 40 yards. They are just an absolute dominant ground machine. So, without question, the physicality tonight is going to be the toughest level that I think the Bulldogs have seen this year. And what's interesting tonight, Cole, is how both of these teams got to this Friday night. Of course, last week, the Bulldogs, heavily favored on paper against a 1-6 El Dorado team, went in there, and it was just – in a lot of ways, not pretty. I mean, to put it mildly. And, you know, we had said before, that can happen on any given night. You know, great teams, sometimes they'll have nights where they're supposed to win. On paper, they're the better team. They should win, but it's not easy. You know, a lot of people expected the Bulldogs to roll the other night, and quite frankly, we didn't. But as we said, you credit El Dorado, the way they played, and conversely, you know, Carmi, we got the win, but they know they got to play better, no question. Johnston City, kind of an opposite story. You know, they were playing for a conference championship potentially, a chance to beat an undefeated Cesar team. You know, that was a big showdown. Both of those teams 7-0 going into that game. Just kind of like, as you said, we were going in there last year. Johnston City with a 22-6 fourth-quarter lead. I know we had reported that score, down there at El Dorado, and we thought, okay, Johnston City's going to take that. I'm driving home. You're driving home, and all of a sudden we see, wait a minute, that game went to overtime.
Yeah.
Cesar came back to tie that game, and I'm going to say it was very little time left in the fourth quarter when they tied it.
Final minute, I believe.
The last minute tie it. Johnston City is on defense first. Cesar scores, gets their conversion. Johnston City, first play in the end zone, get held out on their conversion.
Yep.
So just a mentally, physically draining game for them coming off, you know, playing the other top opponent in the league. So they're coming in here tonight, and there's two ways they can show up. They can either show up let down from that deflating loss, or they're going to come in hungry and motivated. So, you know, that's the thing for Johnston City. How are they emotionally tonight? Now, either way for the Bulldogs, it doesn't matter, because you're playing a football team that's 100 times better than the one you played last week and you struggled against. So the bottom line, these boys know what's ahead of them from Carmi tonight. They know where they have to play better. Once again, it's going to simply be at the line of scrimmage. You have to be able to come up front and stop that foot-to-foot wedge attack. You have to take on double-team blocks. You have the down linemen have to hold their ground. You can't get blown off the football. You can't get driven back to the second level. Linebackers have to come up and fill gaps. Your corner safety's got to play assignment football, but you just got to dig in and maintain your ground on the line of scrimmage. That's going to be the key tonight, because when the linemen are foot-to-foot like that, it's not an easy thing to do.
Yeah, fans that recall the Fairfield Mules offense for so many years, really even this year as well, that foot-to-foot offense, it's so hard to stop defensively. And really, Chris, as a defensive lineman standpoint, as far as Carmi and what their defensive linemen are going to have to do, you're almost just diving at knees every single play and hoping that your linebackers can make some plays. This game, as much as it's going to mean as far as the front seven and the guys on the line, those middle linebackers, Nelson Ryder, Noah Pollard, big assignments tonight, reading keys, and they can't let these running backs break off long plays.
Your linebackers is plain and simple. Your linebackers are your tacklers tonight. Your defensive linemen become sort of sacrificial in a way, and this is where losing a guy like Bryant, you know, Eli Bryant, the 310-pound junior, is such a huge loss, because That's a 300-pounder that gets you push off the ball. He occupies double and triple teams. He creates things that, like we said, that allows linebackers to make plays. Now, with that heavy presence out of there, you're going to call upon your seniors, your stalwarts, the Connor Buchanans, the Gavin Paytons, the Austin Owens inside there to really have to dig deep and do their job. But the biggest thing they got to do before anything, they got to believe they can, number one. But, yeah, you just basically become that I just can't get blown off the line of scrimmage. And like I said, when you're taking on linemen in foot-to-foot splits, it's a difficult thing to do because they got the advantage on you from the get-go. If you're playing normal offensive lines with 2-3-foot splits, you got a quick D lineman can penetrate those gaps. It's different. But when they're wedged like that, you absolutely have to be a beast.
So the Bulldog marching band is out on the field. That means it is time for the national anthem. We'll step aside for a 2-minute break. Kickoff between the Bulldogs and the Indians right around the corner on 97.3 WRUL.
When it comes to tax preparation, experience counts. Hi, this is Dewana with Butch & Associates CPAs in Carmi. Taxes are complicated, but choosing a tax professional shouldn't be. We have the knowledge and experience to make the most of your tax return. Turn to the professionals at Butch & Associates CPAs in Carmi. Call 382-4151. That's 382-4151. Also visit online at butch.com. That's BOTSCH.com.
Before you drive a nail, drive to Carmi Lumber. From cabinets and flooring, doors and paint, lumber and hardware, to shingles and siding. Knowledgeable and friendly staff that have your back on all those home projects and even deliver to your door. So before you drive a nail, drive to Carmi Lumber for the woods, the goods, and the know-how. Visit Carmi Lumber, North 3rd Street in Carmi and carmilumber.net.
Hello Bulldog fans, this is Kyle Hosick with Country Financial. It's been great coming back to my hometown of Carmi, supporting our Bulldogs as well as my current and future clients. Whether you're looking for auto or home insurance, insurance for your business, life insurance, or a retirement plan, I can help. I take pride in quality customer service and promise to listen to what's important to you while ensuring you have the right coverages. Stop by my office to see what sets us apart. Country Financial Representative Kyle Hosick, 603 West Main in Carmi.
Senior night here, week 9 of the IHSA football season. How it is already October 20th is beyond me, but here we are, the final regular season season. Cole Carter alongside Chris.
The Bulldogs established themselves early on. They just can't allow Johnston City to come out and just get like a 10, 11, 12-play drive where they're just pounding and grinding and getting one in the end zone. I think the key is, even if it's not a 3-and-out, if they can just hold Johnston City on their first possession, establish their confidence and realize, okay, we can come up, we can make plays. If they can find a way to get them off the field that first possession, I think that's going to be the key to them confidence-wise going into this game defensively. Offensively, I don't think you do much different than what you do. We just know we have to run the ball better. It just comes down to how we play up front, both sides of the ball. So I think offensively, we just come out, try to do what we do best. T, power I, stack I, run the football, play our brand of football. But if we have to spread it out, we've shown that we do have the ability, but I just really think defense is the key tonight. Establishing, just getting them off the field, be it 5, 6, 10 plays, but just don't let them in the end zone first possession.
Something we haven't mentioned, both teams are going to play in the playoffs next week, and they're going to find out who their playoff opponent is tomorrow night. But, Chris, this game, you talk about difference between 7-2 and 8-1. As we saw last year, it's monumental.
It is huge. 8-1, you're guaranteed to play at home, and your opponent is probably going to be 6-3, maybe a 5-4 football team, and maybe from around this area. 7-2, and especially if you lose your last game, you're kind of backing your way in. The thing that will hurt the Bulldogs points-wise is that we took the forfeit, unable to find an opponent. So if we do lose tonight, then the draw is not going to be as favorable, and there's a chance you're on the road and could be in the Springfield area.
Bulldogs run onto the field for, we hope, not the final time here in 2023. Injury notes, we've talked about Eli Bryant being out. He's done for the year. Caleb Siebers, he's dealt with that broken ankle throughout the year. Beck Huff also not playing tonight. He's wearing a boot on his right foot, and I would imagine not looking likely for next week either. The junior defensive back, he also plays some wide receivers, so we hope that he can get healthy here soon.
Yeah, he's a key component in the receiving core and the secondary. Hate to see that. He's really developed this year, especially I feel on the defensive side of the ball. Has done a nice job. Good tackler, smart kid, aggressive, and so hate to see that. You know, we said back in the Gator Bowl a few months ago, the one thing this Bulldog team had was talent, but the thing we didn't have was numbers, and the thing we had to avoid was injury. Can't control it. You know, injury is what it is. It's just the beast of football, and you hate to lose 3 players the caliber of what we've lost. But nonetheless, the kids that are out there, this is senior night. These seniors, it's their last home game. They know what's across from them. They know that team over there in white jerseys and black helmets is one of the top teams in Southern Illinois. But if you're Carmi Bulldogs tonight, especially if you're a senior, you revel in that.
Yep.
You look forward to this opportunity. You say, okay, I want to play the best teams. I want to know how good we are. I want this opportunity to go out week 9, our last home game of our careers, and lay it on the line, just lay it on the field, and that's what you have to do tonight, especially for these seniors.
I think this first quarter, Chris, is going to mean a lot. Obviously, this Johnston City team, a 16-point lead at halftime last week, ended up losing, but I think from a momentum standpoint, if Carmi can get at least a score on the board here in the first quarter, early on, maybe even get a lead, it's going to help monumentally throughout the game.
Right, and it looks like that Johnston City has deferred, so the Bulldogs will receive first. So both ways. Carmi is going to get the ball first. You said it, Cole. If we can come out, move the ball consistently, get some confidence, you know, again, offensively, I'm not, I say worried, concerned. I think we can move the ball offensively. It's, to me, is how well do we play defense, you know, but with us having the ball first, going back to that, if we can come out and put a good drive here, this first drive, build some confidence that way, that spills over into your defense. And quite frankly, you're just going to have to hope that maybe Johnston City gives you some opportunities. I don't think they're a fumble-prone or turnover-prone team, especially in this type of offense, but you just have to hope for some of those kind of opportunities too. Maybe force a fumble, get an interception, just create some opportunities, or even special teams-wise. You just have to play basically mistake-free football in every facet, offense, defense, and special teams. We can't put the ball on the ground tonight. We did it 3 times last week, got away with it. You don't get away with it against Johnston City. We're 3rd and 2. We jump off sides. We're 3rd and 8. You don't get away with that against Johnston City. You might against El Dorado and teams that are struggling, but tonight you've got to be mistake-free football, all facets.
Bulldogs will get the ball to start the ball game. They'll go right to left here in the first quarter. And, Chris, we're going to see Carmi have to adjust as far as the kickoff return game. The Indians, they'll try some sneaky things. You might see them try to run up to the ball here quickly and try to keep Carmi on their toes. The Bulldogs have 9 guys close to the midfield, and just like that, that's what they'll do. Carmi watched their film. They were ready for that. And they get back into the regular formation, and the Indians will get set to kick it off.
Just one more thing you have to prepare for.
We are underway, week 9 of the high school football season. It's a short kick picked up by Cade Allen at the 26-yard line. Cade Allen across midfield. Cade Allen at the 40-yard line, and he's brought down at the 36. Great start for the Bulldogs.
Excellent start, and we just said it, Cole. Maybe your special teams is what you create an opportunity with. And Cade Allen starting this game off the right way with a massive kick return. Again, special teams can play such a huge role, especially in games like this. And Cade Allen giving the Bulldogs the boost they needed right off the bat.
Well, you recall last year, Chris, the Indians had a couple of good kickoff returns in that game that led us some scores in the first half. How about that one to start the ball game? Carmi comes out with a heavy formation on the right side. Kate Stockton, the tight end, out wide to the right side as Driscoll goes under center. Handoff Pollard right side, and Pollard brought down to the backfield.
Well, that was the wing formation, just a little variation with the end out wide. And you see looks like number 53, the linebacker, Brody Little, just getting through there quickly. Nice job reading that. That's just kind of almost a counter. Johnston City had good penetration at the start, but again, a 1-yard loss. Carmi's going to have some confidence established on the ground.
30 seconds gone here in the first quarter. First drive for Carmi. Second and 11, ball at the JC 36-yard line. Clipped wing formation. Driscoll back to pass here on the second play. He's got time. Rolls out to his right. Nobody open. Then throws it out of bounds. Incomplete. It's just a good job downfield coverage-wise for Johnston City. Driscoll had time, but nobody was open.
Excellent protection. I mean, you couldn't ask for any more time. You could count to 1,005. In most cases, you teach quarterbacks by the time you can count 1,003, your clock's ought to be going off. I got to get rid of this football or run. But Driscoll did the best thing he could do there, and you're right, Cole. It was just good coverage downfield. So now you're 3rd and long. This is borderline 4-down territory.
You got to get something here, though.
Yeah.
You don't want to face 4th and 11.
Exactly. If they don't get anything here, I think we punt.
3rd and 11, ball at the 37-yard line. Driscoll in the shotgun. Play action pass. Looking left. Throwing left. That is going to be caught out at the 30-yard line. Taken down at around the 26. It'll be about 3 yards shy of first, so I say you go for it here.
Absolutely. And that was a great throw by Driscoll. Just
like a great route by Allen.
10-yard out. Bulldogs mixing it up a little tonight. This is something they knew they were going to have to do. They may not be able to just line up in the tee and come right out Johnston City, so that was an excellent play call. And again, this line has given Driscoll excellent time these first 2 dropbacks.
So here we go. First big play of the night. It's 4th down, call it 3. Ball at the Indian 27-yard line. They go to the straight eye, the stack eye. Driscoll, they give it off. Pollard right side. He's met initially. Second effort, trying to bounce it, and he does. He's got the first down across the 20-yard line. What an effort by Noah Pollard.
That was all heart and guts by Noah Pollard, because once again, number 53, Brody Little, shot through there, and I thought he had Pollard dead to rights. Spun out of probably 3 tackles. This is a kid who's a little sore last week, had a banged up knee, but that was just effort, strength, and guts that got that first down. And if you're Carmi, you are loving every second of this, because this is every play that you're moving these chains. It's establishing confidence in what you're wanting to do tonight.
First down and 10. That's a Rush Appliance first down. For your appliances and furniture, see Rush Appliance in Carmi and Fairfield first. Clipped wing formation. They move Cale Wiggins in motion, and they hand it off. Pollard up the gut. Pollard trying to find some room, and a flag comes in.
They're going to get a face mask, I think, on the Indians. I'm calling it. I may be wrong. But
My money's on a hold, just kind of how it was thrown. I hope you're right, Chris.
Yeah,
though.
I'm hoping I'm right. Let's see who they're talking
They
to.
are you were right. Good eyes, Chris.
Yeah.
I'm the one wearing glasses up here.
Well, I saw Pollard's head turn clean around with the JC defender's hand on his mask.
Well, and the big thing, Chris, is if you're Carmi, you've got to take advantage, no matter what it is.
Yeah.
Fumbles, penalties, bad snaps. You've got to find whatever you can. This is a team that does not make many mistakes.
No.
And you got to take advantage when they do.
And you can't turn the ball over.
First down and 4 at the 9-yard line. Pollard gets blown up in the backfield. That time the Indians busted through. They called the blitz, and the big 44, Evan Sanders, blew that one up.
And Evan Sanders, I'm telling you what, is a load. 6'1", 230 pounds. He came up through there literally untouched. And that's a momentum killer right there. Credit Sanders with an incredible play. But you have to account for him. We're going to see a lot of him tonight at the fullback position, but, boy, he made his presence felt there coming off his defensive end position.
2nd and 5, ball at the 9-yard line. Stack eye formation, Driscoll under center. He takes a snap, back to pass again, rolls out to his
Wide
right.
open.
Pollard's open. He makes the catch. Touchdown,
Yes.
Carmi White County.
Beautiful play action setup. As I said, the Bulldogs knew tonight, coming into tonight, coming straight at this JC team in power formations might not be the answer every time. But the good couple of runs that they did get from Pollard set up that play action. Pollard just snuck out there off the fake into the flats. Driscoll doing a great job rolling out there. Thought he had a little too much air under it at first, but Pollard getting 2 feet down, even though he only need 1 in high school. But again, Cole, he had a ton of time to throw that ball.
Offensive line, great job.
I'm telling you, whatever they had in their system last week, it looks like to this point they've worked it out.
$6 from First Bank to the Carmi White County Unit 5 School District. Bulldogs will go for 2. Driscoll in the shotgun. Fakes the handoff, fumbles it, picks it up, tries to roll out to his right, and they'll call it a sack back at around the 10-yard line. Not much Driscoll could do there, but despite the botched 2-point play, the Bulldogs strike first. They lead at 6-0 with 9:16 to go here in the first quarter. We'll step aside for a 30-second break right here on 97.3 WRUL.
your partner in auto repair. That's Cherry Street Automotive in Carmi. You get service, expertise, and a promise you'll drive away satisfied. Complete engine and body repair, 24-hour-a-day wrecker and towing service, tires from sales and service, and repair including muffler service, brakes, shocks, suspension, and more. When quality counts, count on Cherry Street Automotive in Carmi, your partner in auto repair. Call 382-7165 today.
9:16 to go here in the first quarter, and the Bulldogs strike first on a 9-yard touchdown pass from Landon Driscoll to Noah Pollard. Bulldogs using the pass game very well there on the first drive. Couple of good passes from Driscoll, and Carmi got that lead they wanted. We'll see how the defense can respond.
Just a beautiful drive.
Yes.
Just such a mix of run, play action, pass. I mean, that was just as balanced as we've seen the Bulldogs all year.
Squib kick from Driscoll and fielded on a hop there in the second level. And that was number 8 who got the nice hands like a shortstop. Ben Morgan fielded that at around the 35-yard line. And so it will be first down and 10 for Johnson City at that spot. And, you know, Chris, we'll see. Obviously, Carmi undersized as far as the line of scrimmage tonight, but we'll see how that fares.
And the load, number 44, Evan Sanders, is their leading rusher. Like 400 and some odd yards on the season. You might say, well, that's not a lot, but they have 6 guys with 200-plus yards. It's running back by committee with this team. But Sanders is their horse, and there's good reason. At 6 foot, 230 pounds. He's a load.
First down and 10. Here's that foot-to-foot formation. Under center is the quarterback Fort. Toss to the far side. This is going to be number 3. This is Cossey, the ball carrier, and he will take it across the 45-yard line. That is going to be enough for a Johnson City first down.
And you can see he has some wheels. You know, we think him as a tackle-to-tackle team, but every now and then when they get that wing in motion, run that toss, you know, you have to bring your corners in tight to commit. So many guys in the box, so to speak. So if they can get the edge on you, that's where the danger lies. You know, you have to be on your toes. And again, that's what they do. 10 yards right there, chunks of yardage. You can see how they don't get in a hurry.
Indians back to that foot-to-foot formation. Fort, the quarterback, under center. They move a man in motion. They toss it near side. This is Morgan, the ball carrier, trying to find the edge. Good blocking, and Morgan will put his shoulder down as he takes it across the 40-yard line. And 2 plays and 2 Indian first downs.
Well, not a bad job by Cade Stockton at his end position there, keeping his leverage. It's just your corner support has to come up quickly. And you can see how the Bulldogs are committing so many guys to the line of scrimmage. Your corners are literally up there like defensive end. So that's the danger. When you have to commit that many guys, you are going to give up the edge at times.
First and 10 around the 39-yard line, and they get the Bulldogs to jump off sides. They went with the hard count there. Carmi moved initially, didn't get the flag, but that time it does. They'll move it up 5 yards.
And we said it tonight, one thing that can't happen. You can't give a team like Johnson City freebies, and already you've given them 5 yards when they don't need any help. So Carmi can't be their worst enemy tonight. They have to avoid the penalty bug.
Fort under center. They move a man in motion. That's Cossey. Hand it off, fullback give. This is going to be the big man Sanders, who will take it all the way up to the 25-yard line. That will be enough for another Indian first down. They've picked up a first down every time they've run the ball so far.
Yeah, and you can just see what a load he is. And this Indian offensive line is just, I mean, the constant push they get. You can see how they wear on you. They don't get in a hurry. They're foot to foot. It's just like one big wall leaning over on you.
Back to the foot-to-foot formation.
That's a false start.
And, yep, Chris was right as the Indians jumped early.
Looks like the right guard got a little anxious there. And the other thing about this offense, too, Cole, is there's so much misdirection. With those wing backs, you know, you could have the right wing back going in motion to the left, hand it back to the fullback going the other way. There could be double handoffs, a guard pulling to the left, ball going to the right. There's just it's such a difficult offense to defend when it's well executed. But the key is how they play up front, and they play well up front.
8:18 to go here in the first quarter. 6-0 Carmi. First and 15. They move a man in motion. They toss it far side. Vickers can't make the tackle. Running with the football. This is going to be Abshmore, and he is going to take it all the way. They call him out of bounds. Yes, they say he was pushed out of bounds at around the 10-yard line. Cannon Ashmore, the junior, will take it all the way to, they'll mark it at around the 10. First and goal.
Yeah, Vickers just got caught, just jumped inside a little bit, trying to make a play off the edge. And, it's hard to do when you're just trying to take on that block. But just got sucked inside a little bit and got around the edge. You can see this Johnston City team offensively is the real deal.
First and goal from the 6. Fort under center. He will hand it off on I think that was the fullback, first man through. Either way, it's a touchdown. Couldn't tell who got the football.
Like number 22 there, Jace Weaver.
Yeah, Weaver gets the carry, and he's in. And the Indians, just like that, march right down and tie this game 6-6 with 8 minutes to go in the first.
And the other aspect of this, you see how close the fullback is to the center. I mean, it's almost impossible if you're a linebacker to see the exchange, who the quarterback's handed the ball to. Because the wingbacks and the fullback are so tight to the line of scrimmage, you can hardly see anything. So sometimes it's a guessing game to who he's handed the ball to.
Indians will go for 2. Fort under center. Hard count. They snap it. The give goes to Sanders right up the middle, and he's in to give the Indians an 8-6 lead with 7:59 to play in the first quarter. The Bulldogs score. The Indians march right down and answer, and they take the lead 8-6. We'll step aside for a 30-second break right here at 97.3 WRUL.
Citizens National Bank of Albion has always been in the business of making dreams come true.
Are you like many in the community that have dreamed of owning your own business?
Bring your ideas in and speak to one of our commercial loan professionals in Albion, Alney, Crossville, and Bridgeport.
Our competitive rates and solid decision making will make it the best decision you've ever made.
Let us help you get started, and we'll watch your business grow.
Citizens National Bank of Albion, no better banking.
Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Eight minutes left to go here in the first quarter. As the Indians march down the field, they get the 2-point conversion along with the touchdown, and they take an 8-6 lead.
Now if you wonder why this team is good, Johnston City, you just saw it.
Yeah.
I told you that the offense is a steamroller. It's a combine going through a bean field. I mean, there's not a lot you can do to stop it unless you're just blowing it up front.
Indians kick it off. This will be Cade Allen again from the 22-yard line. Allen up the middle trying to find a space, and he will take it up to the 40, and he's brought down right there. That is where the Bulldogs will start this drive. Well, Chris, we talked. I think you want a shootout if you're Carmi, just because you know the Indians are going to score, and so you've got to find a way to answer all of their scores.
And I think if you're the Bulldogs, you just do your best to play keep away. Your offense becomes your best defense tonight. So if you can just show the mix that you had that first drive, positive chunks of yards, stay head of the chains, and most importantly, no penalties.
Under center is Landon Driscoll on first down. They hand it off to Andrew Dodson left side. He tries to find the edge, and a good job by Andrew to be able to get back to the line of scrimmage up to about the 42-yard line. Gain of about 2.
Yeah, small gain there. Good job by Dodson, keeping that from being a loss. Dodson, excuse me. But, yeah, now's the thing. You gave up the quick score to Johnston City. Again, they're tough. But you just have to shake that off if you're the Bulldogs and just realize we've got the ball. We can come back. We can answer. We've done it once. We can do it again.
Driscoll goes under center on 2nd down and 8. He takes a snap, back to pass here. He's got time, throws one over the middle of the field. Allen is there, and he overthrew him. Just missed him. Allen was open.
Yeah, just a second or two off sync there. You're right, Cole. Just plain and simple, just overthrew him a little bit. But again, credit the offensive line for giving Driscoll plenty of time. Just a step or two off. But I like the offense, the mix and play calling that Coach Simon's bringing out tonight, because, again, you're not going to line up in the tee and just pound this team.
Yeah.
You have to keep them honest, and we've done a good job so far tonight in the passing game.
3rd and 8. Carmi comes out, 2 receivers out wide to the right. Driscoll in the shotgun, low snap. He corrals it, rolls out to his right, throws one incomplete, intended for Merrick Milhorn, who's starting in place of the injured Beck Huff. and Carmi will have to punt on their second possession.
Yeah, even if he'd completed that, that was going to be well short of a first down. So, again, your big chance was on the down before, just misconnected. But if you're Carmi, just play field position the best you can. Try to punt this thing as far as you can. Give your defense a chance.
So the Indians are late to get their punt team on the field. And
might snap this thing now.
Carmi wasn't able to get a snap off. Now they do. Driscoll will get it away. It's a low line drive kick that will take a Bulldog roll all the way to the 21-yard line. So, and Bulldog fans wondering if Indians maybe had 12 men on the field.
It's quite possible.
No flag on the play, so we'll resume.
The rule on that's a little different high school, or it could have been a case if you only have 10 men, so be it.
Yeah.
That they were changing guys in and out there. I thought the Bulldogs might try to snap it while they had some confusion going on.
So first down and 10 for the Indians at the 22-yard line. They marched right down the field with ease on their first possession. We'll see if Carmi can add some more resistance here on the second possession.
Plain and simple, they can't allow the same thing to happen this drive.
Under center is Fort. Moves a man in motion, takes the snap, hands it off up the middle. This was the dive. That was number 7, Alec Wingo, who got the carry, and Carmi a better job that time. Gain of about 5.
Yeah, Austin Owen, the nose tackle, doing a good job holding his ground in there. The center, I noticed, comes off the ball so low. I mean, they're just shoulder-to-shoulder wedging, staying low. That's the key to this offense, just how that line plays in such unison.
Second down and 5. Fort goes under center. Try to get the Bulldogs on the hard count once again. They toss it far side. Cossey trying to find the edge. Driscoll comes up, makes a nice tackle, but Cossey right at the 6. They'll call him a yard short. It'll be third down.
That was a good job by Driscoll. Kept his contain well. Cossey's just got some wheels coming off that edge. And they get him in space. He's obviously their speedster. But that's the other conundrum, again, that this offense brings you. You have to commit so much to stop in between the box that they'll throw a little option, they'll throw a little toss out there, and when you bring your corners up tight, you're giving up the edge sometimes.
Third and short, 6:10 to play here in the first quarter. Under center, Fort, fullback give up the middle, and that's going to be plenty enough for a first down, as that was, I believe, Wingo there on the fullback give.
Yeah.
First down, Indians.
Yeah, Wingo, the other fullback, he's at 175, but if anything's their biggest weapon, it's that fullback dive. So I'm telling you, that fullback is literally 2 inches from the quarterback's behind, and he's getting that ball. You can hardly see it handed off.
Yeah.
And when the center and the 2 guards are just wedging constantly like that, it's tough.
Under center is Fort. Moves a man in motion, takes a snap, handed off up the middle. On the run, this is Ashmore, the ball carrier, and he's able to weave his way to get about 6 up to the 47-yard line.
And that's their version of a counter/play side trap. Quarterback reverses out, wingback goes the opposite way, pull a lineman to kick out, give to the fullback coming back the opposite way, or the backside tailback. That's kind of one of their bread and butter plays as well.
Second down and 5 here for the Indians. Ball at the 47, 5.5 to play here in the first quarter. Fort under center. They toss it. Cossey trying to go up the middle, and that second effort is going to get him down right near the chains. The near side official has him marked at the Bulldog 49-yard line.
And you can see how you have to play this defense. All 5 of our down linemen are in 3-4-point stances, and they're just committed to getting low, creating a pile. Your corners become your ends, your de facto defensive ends. You've got 2 linebackers up and more or less 2 safeties. So 9 guys at the line of scrimmage.
3rd and inches, and Fort will keep it on the quarterback sneak. He's got enough for a first down. Indians have done a lot of that this year. Quarterback sneaks with Fort. He's a big quarterback at 6'4", and easily got that one up to the 46-yard line. That's enough for an Indian first down with under 5 to play here in the first quarter. 8-6 Johnston City.
And he becomes a weapon himself as a blocker. Some of those inside tosses, you'll see the quarterback will toss it, and he'll turn and be a lead blocker as well. So there's plays where they have 3 or 4 guys coming at you in as far as pulling and lead blocking.
First down and 10, and a penalty flag on the play, and we'll see what they call here.
Call encroachment or nope.
It's going to be an offside against the offense, Chris. We saw that twice last week. I had never seen it called before.
It's rare.
It's just your offensive lineman just simply lines up in front of the ball, and at that point he can't move backwards. It'll be a false start.
Yeah.
Basically works as a false start.
It can work that way, or it could be the tight end not lined up on the line of scrimmage. So but this is you're right, Cole. It's 2 weeks in a row we've seen that.
Yeah.
It's a rare thing to see.
We talked about Carmi having to take advantage of mistakes. Here's one right here. You get a 5-yard penalty. Can the defense use it to their advantage? And the foot-to-foot. There's another one. False start Indians. As the tight end on the near side, as well as the right tackle, he took off downfield before the snap. So now if you're Carmi, you'll take that. But you've got to take advantage here. I mean, they've got 4 downs to get 20 yards here. You like their chances, but Carmi's got to find a way to get a push, and you just can't give up so much positive plays.
No, and even at 1st and 20, you're not comfortable against Johnston City.
No.
Because 10 yards with the fullback is nothing for them.
Yeah.
So this is just where you got to tell your D-line, you've got to just dig down. Do not give up ground. Let your linebackers make plays.
1st and 20, Fort under center. Fullback give. This is the big fullback Evan Sanders, who's able to pick up about 12 yards there. Gets that back to the 44-yard line. It'll be 2nd down and call it 7 here for the Indians.
And on cue, the fullback gets 10 yards back.
Yeah. And there's just because obviously, Chris, there's so much you got to prepare for because if they do get somebody on the outside, you can't waste a step going to track them down. But at the same time, that fullback give, if it's there and you're a second late, it's a 7-yard gain like that.
There's so many things you got to commit to. And again, Cole, you can't see it so much from this angle, but when you're down there on field level, on the other side of the ball, trying to see who has the football is almost impossible in this formation.
Play clock down to 5. Indians hustle up. Fort under center, move a man in motion, and Fort, I think, kept it. Yeah, the quarterback, Fort, kept it there on the run. Faked the toss, kept it himself, carries up to about the 37, maybe the 38. They'll bring up 3rd and short here for the Indians, definitely 4-down territory.
And just like that, with most teams 1st and 20, you're thinking, okay, we're going to have to throw it at some point. Not with this team. And the quarterback at 6'4", 195, almost 200 pounds, he's a weapon, carrying the ball himself.
They call it 3rd and 2. The ball is at the Carmi 38-yard line. 2:27 to play here in the first quarter. Under center is Fort. Hard count. Takes the snap. They toss it. This is going to be number 8, the ball carrier. That's Morgan, and he's brought down to the backfield. Nelson Ryder, Andrew Dotson, Gavin Payton back there. No gain. 4th down.
I tell you what, great job by Gavin Payton. The guard and the tackle in front of him pulled. It was a play side, just a power coming up inside with the guard. Gavin Payton did a great job getting on the pulling lineman's hip, and it takes you to the football. You're taught as a down lineman, if the guy in front of you pulls, get on his hip and follow him because he'll take you to the play. And Gavin Payton did that beautifully.
Referee's making Nelson Ryder come out for a play. I think he's got a cut on his hand. And so they'll rinse it off with water. Bennett Richter will get him wrapped up. They'll bring in Michael Miller to sub in for him for this play.
And Peyton has to come out because his helmet came off.
Well, that's not what you want on 4th and short. You want your big senior lineman in there, but
and then you got 2 sophomores you have to run on.
And Carmi seems to be
probably going to have to call a timeout
here. Carmi seems to be confused defensively. So here we go. 4th and short. Indians will run a play here. Fort under center. Still in the foot-to-foot. They move a man in motion. They go for the hard count. Bulldogs don't jump. They reset the play. Fort looks around. Still under center on 4th and 2. Still waiting, and the Indians are going to call a timeout.
And that's a big break for the Bulldogs. Good discipline because now you can get Peyton and Ryder back on the field. But good job by the Bulldogs not jumping there. And I'm surprised Johnston City didn't go ahead and run a play there.
I was too. I mean, especially you knew that Carmi had a couple of guys off the field. That was kind of their opportunity. But
2 guys who just made a play in the backfield had to come off the field.
You're going to have a chance to bring Peyton and Ryder back in the ballgame here. So 1:58 to play here in the first quarter. Ball at the Carmi 37. It's 8-6 Indians. It's 4th down and a long one for JC at the Carmi 37. You know, obviously, I would expect an inside run here, either a fullback give, quarterback sneak.
Yeah. Kind of like Sesser was built for the quick out in their offense. This team is just designed for 4th and 1.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if I'm the Bulldogs, I'm just bringing the house on the blitz. Yeah, it's a risk because if they do kind of run a variation off that and end up tossing it, it may cost you, but I'm selling out bringing the house if I'm Carmi.
4th down and short. You see the Bulldogs, how they stack things up with 6 down linemen. Under center is Fort here on 4th and short. Takes the snap. Fullback gives Sanders. I don't think he got there. They're going to mark him at the 36.
I think he might be short.
Depending on where the chains are. He slipped right when he got the football.
Let's see.
Carmi fans are acting like as if he's short.
They're going to have to measure.
They'll have to measure this.
There is no question they got to measure this.
And they will.
And this will be the most tense measurement of the entire year.
We'll see if Kenny Carter, Greg Stewart, or Camden Stewart can give us a little bit of help here on the chains.
Come on, Kenny. Can't you talk to Kenny at all, Cole? Send him a text real quick.
Just when he first got it, it seemed like he didn't get any forward progress.
Let's see. There's a lot of slack in that chain. Let's see.
He's short.
Yes, by an inch.
Turnover on downs.
By an inch.
The Bulldog defense comes through, and Carmi gets the ball back with 1:45 to play here in the first quarter.
And not only was that monstrous for obvious reasons, you stopped him, but the confidence that builds in your defense to know, okay, we can get a stop against these guys. That was 4th and a yard, and they kept a 230-pound monster from getting that first down. Given what they had been giving up last week, they had no answer for El Dorado's fullback last week. So to do that, Bulldogs need to run with this momentum right now.
1st and 10, ball at the Carmi 37-yard line. Driscoll under center. Handoff, Pollard left side. Cuts back to the middle, and he was met near the line of scrimmage. He'll be pushed back. Forward progress might get him 2 yards at around the 39.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, that JCD line is stout up front, without question. For them, big number 76, Roper Sanders, 5'11", 270. He is tough to move. Number 54, Diego Garza at 5'9", 235. I mean, they're both just built like stumps.
And it's something in the water over there,
it is.
Chris. It's just every year they've got these big linemen.
Yeah, as an offensive lineman, when you got a short, squatty nose tackle, I mean, they're tough to get out of there just from their leverage standpoint.
They called a 3-yard gain for Pollard up to the 40. So 2nd and 7. Pollard gets it again left side, and that time able to lunge his way to about the 41. It will bring up 3rd down, about 6 here for Carmi. We are under a minute left in the first quarter, 8-6 Indians.
And again, Garza over there, and number 9, Jude Beers. I mean, another kid, again, is just a load. Jude Beers, trying to see what he's listed at, 6'2", 225, 235. I mean, at defensive end, that's an animal.
Yeah.
That's a big kid. You know, you got Trayton Vickers doing his best. You know, but Vickers is, 175 pounds, outweighed 50 pounds, taking that kid on every play.
3rd and 5, Driscoll under center, back to pass. He's got time, throws one downfield. Pollard is there, but it's underthrown and picked off. Running it back for the Indians is going to be number 22. He's down the sideline, and who picked that pass off was Jace Weaver. And the Indians defense comes back, gets a takeaway of their own.
We talked at the beginning, Cole. One thing you can't afford to do is turn the ball over against this team, but just credit their defender, the safety, just sitting back. Ball was underthrown a little, made a good play. Again, I like the play call. It was there. Just missed on the timing a little bit.
Yeah, Pollard was open.
He was.
And Weaver came from a safety spot, came over that ball, just hung up in the air a little bit too long.
Again, credit the line. They've given Driscoll all day to throw every time he's dropped back. Just couldn't connect.
So 1st down and 10 for the Indians. 6 seconds left to play in the first quarter. Ball at the Carmi 32. Fort under center. He'll take the snap. He'll toss it. This is going to be Ashmore, the ball carrier. A correction, that's Morgan. And he's got nowhere to go. So the Bulldog defense able to make a tackle for a loss on the final play of the first quarter. It's been an offensive first quarter. Indians lead at 8-6 after 12 minutes of play. We'll step aside for a 1-minute break right here on 97.3 WRUL.
Trucks, trucks, and more trucks. Trucktoberfest is here at Expressway Ford with tons of trucks in stock. And we're slashing prices, over $9,000 off MSRP on new 2023 Ford F-150 XLT and rates as low as 1.9% APR. That's right, over $9,000 off the #1 selling truck in America for 46 years. Hurry out to our Trucktoberfest while inventory is up and prices are down. Expressway Ford, more Fords for less.
In 1925, when Farrell Hospital opened, they knew that families in El Dorado and the surrounding communities needed a hospital they could depend on, close to home. Over the years, Farrell grew to meet the needs of patients. Today, Farrell Hospital has grown to...
Cole Carter and Chris Myers coming to you live from the Carmi Lumber broadcast booth. As the Bulldogs score in their first possession, an 8-yard touchdown pass from Landon Driscoll to Noah Pollard. Indians marched right down the field. Answered, got the 2-point play. Bulldogs were able to get a stop on 4th and short, but an interception from Landon Driscoll gives the Indians the ball at the 30-yard line where it's 2nd down and 8.
And the Bulldogs, you know, that quarter, I mean, went by pretty quick. You know, it's all ground game.
Bulldogs, not going to have many clock stoppages tonight.
You're not. If they do, they're going to come from the Bulldogs because we are throwing more than we've ever thrown all year. But, again, it's out of necessity. This defense has to dig deep because Johnston City knocking on the red zone.
Fort under center. Moving man in motion, they toss it. Morgan trying to find some running room off the right side, and he is going to take it across the 25 to about the 22. He'll be about 2 yards shy of the line to gain. 3rd and short coming up for the Indians.
I mentioned earlier how in this offense the quarterback can be a lead blocker. On that play, it's just like a power G. They pull a guard around. You have 2 lead backs and a quarterback. So the one side of the line is taking on 4 basically pullers coming right at you. So it's just so tough to defend.
Under center is Fort on 3rd and short. They give it off up the middle, and that is going to be, I couldn't tell who got the ball, to be honest with you, Chris.
I think that was that was 44.
That was the fullback, Sanders, and he got nothing.
Yeah.
Carmi stopped him. It's 4th down again.
That's twice now on short yardage. They've held him. Now 4th and 2, exact same scenarios we had the series before. Now let's see if Johnston City might get tricky on this. I mean, you got Evan Sanders. I mean, yeah, I would give him the ball with 1.5 yards to go, but
Carmi's done a lot better getting that push.
Right. If they sell out here and, you know, if the quarterback decides to keep it, if Fort keeps it or they run an end around, you know, it could catch us off guard. Let's see what we get.
It's 4th and a short 2. Fort under center. They move a man in motion. Fullback give to Sanders, and he's got the first down by plenty.
Yeah. When in doubt, just give it to your 230-pounder.
So, you know, The Longest Yard, the Adam Sandler remake. Have you seen that movie? He reminds me of the big lineman he was able to recruit. Just the big nose tackle. That's what he reminds me of, running the football right there to Sanders.
I think it was Bob Sapp or someone like that. Yeah, he's just he looks like a grown man coming through there. Johnston City they played it safe. I mean, trust that kid to get you 1 yard every time minimum.
1st and 10, ball at the 13, 10-15 to play here in the first quarter. 8-6 Indians. Fort, they toss it right side. Cale Wiggins try to come up and make the tackle.
Great job.
Driscoll does. No gain.
Well, I tell you what, Cale Wiggins may not have made the tackle there, but what he did, he forced that to go wider than it was intended to. He came up, took on the lead back, drove him back, forced that play to go wide, and gave Driscoll the time he needed to come up and make the play. That was an excellent job by Wiggins.
Now we'll stop the clock with 10:06 to go here in the second quarter. 8-6 Johnston City. 2nd and 10, ball at the Carmi 13-yard line. No gain there on the play for Morgan. Under center is Fort. Move Morgan in motion. They fake the toss. Fullback give left side. And that is going to be, I believe, Cossey, the ball carrier. Correction, that was Ashmore who got it and takes it up to about the 7. It'll be 3rd and short.
And you can see the variation on that play. When the wing sprints out the opposite direction, what he's trying to do is create influence. He's trying to trick the defense into thinking that they're going to hit a sweep outside, and they come right back against the grain with the fullback.
3rd and 4, ball at the Carmi 7-yard line. Fort under center. He will take the snap. They toss it near side, and there's Gavin Payton shooting through in the backfield to make the tackle. He brought down Weaver for a loss. And, Chris, I know last year the Indians,
beautiful.
I believe they had a kicking unit. They're not going to bring anything out. It's fourth down.
They're going to go for it. At the very least, if Carmi does stop, then Carmi's deep in their territory. They're definitely going for it. But, again, what a play by Gavin Payton. 2 big plays tonight. Getting on the hip of the puller, and that's what you expect from the senior. What a great play again by Gavin Payton.
So here we go, 4th and 7. Fort under center. And we've got a timeout call by Johnston City. That's their second timeout. They're going to rethink things, and we'll pause as they do so. We'll step aside for a 30-second break right here at 97.3 WRUL.
In 1925, when Farrell Hospital opened, they knew that families in El Dorado and the surrounding communities needed a hospital they could depend on, close to home. Over the years, Farrell grew to meet the needs of patients. Today, Farrell Hospital has grown to offer advanced emergency care, orthopedics, cancer, surgery, imaging, lab, and more, always keeping more care right here close to home. Farrell Hospital. You can depend on us.
8:40 left to play here in the second quarter. The Indians have the football at the Carmi 10-yard line. It is 4th down and 7. Johnston City leads 8-6. Cole Carter and Chris Myers with you. Asher Penrod back at the WRUL studio. Haley Winkleman and Kai Roberts with us. For those of you watching on the WRUL Sports YouTube channel. So 4th and 7.
And I expect Evan Sanders here, quite honestly. I expect a counter, fullback coming the opposite way.
Under center is Fort. Try to go with the hard count. Move a man in motion. They toss. They fake the toss, and he's going to throw it for a touchdown. That's a great design play, and Fort threw a bullet to Cossey in the end zone. Touchdown, Indians.
Would you believe me if I was going to say that's the next thing to be wary of? That's where they lull you to sleep. But a great play call by Johnston City. The Bulldogs had to commit to the run. And just like that, they slipped the tight end out over the middle of the field. And when you have to commit the linebackers to the line of scrimmage, you have to bring your safeties up so close. It opens up that middle of the field. And he just got it past the outstretched hand of Stockton. But credit Johnston City with a good play call there.
So a big 2-point play here. 14-6 Indians, 8:33 to go in the second. This will make it a 2-possession game. Indians send a wide receiver out to the right side. That's Cossey. And Fort is under center with Sanders, the big fullback, right behind him. Fort moves a man in motion. They toss it on the near side. This is Ashmore trying to find the edge, and he gets in there for 2.
Thought Driscoll was going to get him. He was there. Again, Wiggins, whoever is over there, did a good job forcing, but just a little too quick.
8:33 to go in the second quarter. Your score, Indians 16, Carmi 6, back in 30 seconds.
Great teamwork is no accident.
David and the gang at Hale Body Shop salute the area athletes.
Just as in sports, the team at Hale Body Shop work together to make sure you get your car back as quickly as possible.
When it comes to collision repair, more and more people choose the team way out there on Possum Road.
Hale Body Shop in Carmi.
David and the gang are proud supporters of area athletes.
$8:33 to go here in the second quarter as the Indians score their second touchdown of the night. They get the 2-point conversion as well, and they lead at 16-6 here over at Carmi White County. Cole Carter and Chris Myers with you here week 9 of the high school football season. Bulldogs will be in action next week in the first round of the IHSA playoffs. We will find out who they will play tomorrow night. Stay tuned to the WRUL Facebook page for updates on that game as far as who they will play and when and where it will be.
And the Bulldogs, quite frankly, have got to score before the half. They got to keep this a 1-score game.
Indians get the ball to start the second half, and the kickoff goes to Cade Allen from the 21-yard line. Allen comes near side, now tries to cut to the middle, tries to stay on his feet, and he'll be brought down at the 40. Kind of surprised they continue to kick to Allen. He's had a couple of pretty good returns, and good starting field position here for the Bulldogs, 1st and 10 at the 40.
So Carmi, just be patient. I don't think you have to go for a home run here. 8:25 is an eternity, for this Johnston City team. If you get a 3 and out here, that's still a ton of time for them. But conversely, it's a ton of time for the Bulldogs. You don't have to be in a hurry. All 3 timeouts, 8:25 left.
1st down and 10, ball at the 40-yard line, and the shotgun is Driscoll. He'll take the snap. Handoff goes to Pollard, looking for some running room. Noah takes it up to the 44.
We got a flag.
The flag came in. Gavin Payton's helmet is off.
Either a hold or face mask again in that area. Let's see who they're talking to.
They are talking to the Carmi side. Makes me think it's against the Indians.
Yeah. Still talking. We're just waiting to see what their helmet came off. Gavin Payton's helmet came off, so I'm going to assume it's going to be a personal foul. No,
yeah, face mask.
Holding. Yeah.
Face mask is what they call against the Indians, so somebody must have grabbed Gavin Payton's helmet and just ripped it off.
And again, as a rule, if a player's helmet comes off, they do have to come off the field for at least one play.
Is Gavin off the field? He is. Okay.
Yeah.
I know there is kind of a blur in the rule where if it gets ripped off, it's a different story.
Yeah.
Maybe just in the NFL, but Gavin Payton will come off for a play.
Yeah, and that's a big penalty. That's 15-yarder.
Yes. So it's a Rush Appliance 1st down up to the 43-yard line.
And if you're Johnston City, you don't want to do the Bulldogs any favors either. You have a chance to really put the squeeze on Carmi here. So this is why it's so important for the Bulldogs this drive.
And the shotgun is Driscoll. He'll take the snap, handoff Pollard left side, trying to find the edge, cuts back to the middle, and Noah drugged down at the 40-yard line. Carmi got away with a false start there. The slot receiver jumped early, but no whistle.
Sometimes it's better to be lucky than unlucky, as they say. Well, I thought Pollard was going to be tackled in the backfield. Big number 76, Roper Sanders, just missed him, getting his mitts on him, but good move by Pollard.
2nd down and 7 for Carmi. Ball at the Indian 40-yard line. 7.5 to play here in the second quarter. 16-6 Indians.
You just got to get yourself at the minimum a 3rd and short situation here. Keep these chains moving.
Driscoll in the shotgun, but not before. Johnston City calls their 3rd and final timeout here in the first half. So both teams will make their way to their sidelines, and we'll step aside for a 30-second break right here on 97.3 WRUL.
Hamilton Memorial Hospital family clinics are growing to meet the needs of our communities. We're proud to continue to expand by offering acute, urgent care services by welcoming Dr. Brian Sloan to our McLeansboro Family Clinic location. With over 20 years of emergency medicine experience, Dr. Sloan provides acute, urgent care visits for those times when you can't wait to feel better. From colds and sore throats to care after sports-related injuries and more. Hamilton Memorial Hospital Family Clinics. Here for you now, like we've always been. To schedule an appointment, call 618-643-2988.
All right, so after the Johnston City timeout with 7:16 to play here in the second quarter, Carmi has it 2nd and 7 at the Indian 40-yard line. Take a second and try to find some other scores from around the area. This is pretty much the only relevant game in the Black Diamond Conference. Hamilton County, they do play at West Frankfort tonight, and if the Foxes win that game, they will become playoff eligible. But other than that, of course, Flora, Sesser and Flora 3-5. Red Devils trying to finish off the undefeated season. But 2nd and 7 here for Carmi, and the shotgun is Driscoll. Handoff Pollard, left side, jukes left, and he can't get away from the defensive back. That was Fort, who met him at around the 40. They'll give Noah forward progress, no gain, 3rd and 7. And Chris, we talked before the game, this is kind of what you wanted to avoid if you're Carmi.
Yeah.
It's third and I wouldn't say long, but 3rd and medium. We want to stay ahead of the chain.
Yeah, you'd much rather have 3rd and 1 or 2 than 3rd and 7 because the play calling is just so difficult here. If you just commit to a basic run and get stuffed, and then you're 4th and long. So this might be a situation, Johnston City's not blitzing heavy. They are playing enough defenders in the box, maybe a screen of some kind, but in this formation, looks like we are going to throw the ball.
3rd and 7. Driscoll, play action pass, throws it near sideline. That is incomplete.
Yeah.
He was looking for Cade Allen. And it's 4th and 7, so now what do you do if you're Coach Simon?
I think you got to punt it. You got to play field position. But at the same time, we got away with another false start anyway. That's twice now. You're right, Cole. Our slot receiver has moved before the ball was snapped. 4th and 7, this is tough. Yeah. With 6 minutes, I mean, Johnston City's offense is so good, it doesn't matter in a lot of ways where they're at.
Yeah.
But right now, I would rather see them pinned deep in their own territory, maybe inside the 10, than give them the ball at the 40 if we don't get this.
So they'll go for it on 4th down and 7. Pooch kick also not completely out of the option. Driscoll under center. They will go for it. Play action pass. Driscoll over the middle. Threw it too high. Pollard was open, but Driscoll missed him. Threw it a little bit too high. Turnover on downs.
Yeah, just a little too soon. If he'd waited another second, Pollard might have came free.
I like the play call, though.
I do.
It was there.
I do. You know, it's if you're going to go for it, it was a good play call. Now the bottom line is this. Carmi absolutely has to keep Johnston City out of the end zone in this next 6 minutes and 20 seconds to stay in this game.
Yep.
It just plain and simple. It's already a 2-score game. If they march this down and get in the end zone again and have the ball to start the second half, it could be a real uphill climb, to say the least.
So 1st and 10 for the Indians, ball at their 40-yard line. 6:20 left to play in the second. 16-6 Johnston City. Fort, they go with the fullback give up the middle. That was Morgan on the carry, I believe. I really don't know, Chris. It's a guess at this point.
We said that offense that's the difficult thing. It's even hard to see the ball. Who's got the ball from up here?
Yeah. Might make a trip to Taylor Eye Care next week. Get some new glasses. They do call it a 3-yard gain there on the play. So it's 2nd and 7.
Imagine trying to be a linebacker and figure out who's got the ball.
Fort under center. Move a man in motion. They toss it near side. Cossey trying to find the edge. And Cossey will go out of bounds at around the 47.
And they're going to
flag
throw
comes in late from the backside official, and it's going to be a hold. I think that's the right call, Chris. You saw Andrew Dotson.
Yes.
He shot downfield, and he blocking the back is probably what I was called. I think he was pushed in the back, but a hold either way will take it.
I think the hold because, you could see his shoulder was almost turned, where his right shoulder was facing the goalpost, and he kind of had his hands up like – may have had a little encouragement from the Bulldog crowd, too, a little bit of the referees get that late flag. But
I believe that's Bobby Blondie. Took him about 3 minutes to get that flag out of his pocket.
Better late than never, the old saying.
So, and with that being a hold, that's a 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. So
still 2nd down for them, though.
Yeah, so we'll be 2nd down and about 17 or so. They put the football at the 32-yard line.
And as we've seen, 2nd and 17 is very manageable for Johnston City.
Fort under center. Waiting. Now takes a snap. He's going to go back to pass for just the second time tonight. They got a man open downfield, and Fort missed him. That could have been a touchdown. The tight end, number 9, Drew Beers, was wide open.
That was 6 points. Just missed him.
And here's a big play, 3rd and long.
And it's interesting for Johnston City here. If you want to roll back and throw it again, now the Bulldogs are probably going to be more wary of that. Or you could just stay basic, run your big fullback, get a big chunk, and, either way, if they don't get this, they're punting this ball because you just don't want to give the Bulldogs field position. Your defense has played very, very well other than that opening drive. So the big thing, if the Bulldogs can get them stopped here, it's just going to depend.
So 3rd and 17, ball at the 33, play clock down to 5. Under center is Fort. He'll take the snap. He's going to go back to pass again. Throws one down the field. Man open. It's Cossey. He's gone. Touchdown, Johnston City. 67 yards. No flags.
And it's just the conundrum this offense presents. He rolled out the same exact direction he did the last time. And that time, Cossey just snuck right down the left sideline. No one near him. Perfect throw. And Johnston City with an absolute gut punch to the Bulldogs.
Well, Fort came into tonight's game with the fewest passing yards in the Black Diamond Conference, and You're probably wondering, you know, Coach, let this kid throw. He's looked
Yeah.
pretty good on the 2 touchdown passes he's thrown tonight.
Well, when your running game is so good,
Yeah.
even 3rd and 17, you're committing to the run. And they sneak those plays on you when you least expect it. You know, you had to be worried that they were going to throw it regardless, but when he rolls out to the right, it's easy for the backside defender to fall asleep, and that's what happened.
Big 2-point play here, Fort under center. Fullback give, this is going to be in. That was Wingo, who was in nearly untouched with 5:07 to play in the second quarter. Johnson City leads 24-6 back in 30 seconds.
What a hit! Now that's a playmaker.
With Huck's Bucks Big Rewards, you can be a playmaker too. Hi folks, I'm Chris Myers.
And I'm Cole Carter. Download the Huck's Bucks Big Rewards app now and save with great coupons on gas, snacks, and more.
And make sure to fuel up at the Bulldog Spirit Pump at Huck's. A portion of your fill-up goes to support Carmi White County Unit 5 schools.
And that makes you a playmaker in the community. Huck's Market, headquartered in Carmi.
5:07 to play here in the second quarter. As the Indians score their 3rd touchdown of the night, they take a 24-6 lead here over Carmi White County. Cole Carter and Chris Myers with you. Asher Penrod's back at the WRUL studio. Haley Winkleman and Kai Roberts with us. For those of you watching on the WRUL Sports YouTube channel. So the 67-yard touchdown pass from Fort to Cossey. That was on a 3rd and 17. And now for Carmi, you've still got lots of time left here in the second quarter, but really feel like a must-score drive right here.
Well, 3rd and 17, you know, you had him pinned back. You thought that was the situation, get him off the field, and you give up a touchdown. It's an absolute gut punch.
Kickoff goes to Caden Allen from the 21-yard line. Allen running near side, now tries to cut back to the middle, and he will be brought down at the 34. So Carmi's worst starting field position thus far. And that is where they will start this drive. 5 minutes to go here in the second quarter. Again, Indians do get the ball to start the third quarter, Chris. You want to put together a long, but you got to get a touchdown here, touchdown drive.
You got 3 timeouts, and essentially they'll call it 5 minutes to round it off. But quite simple. You have to score. I mean, you can't give them the ball here on a 3 and out, especially because that's still plenty of time for Johnston City. You know, they're not known as a quick strike team.
Mm-hmm.
But like I said, they lull you to sleep with that run game. They just snuck the wing back up the left sideline.
Driscoll in the shotgun on 1st and 10. They fake the handoff. Quarterback run for Driscoll here near side, trying to find a running lane, and there was not one there as Fort came up. Was able to make the tackle.
Yeah. Milhorn doing his best to get in there and block Fort, but Fort's a load. 6'4", 200 pounds. I mean,
you just don't see that every week. Right? I mean, Carmi just have not seen a team this size all season.
Just physical athletes in the secondary and the linebacker position and the defensive end. When you got a defensive end that big and strong, because normally your tight ends aren't your biggest, strongest blockers. So you got an edge player, 235 pounds. It's just such a weapon. And same thing with Ford at linebacker.
2nd and 10, Driscoll in the shotgun. Indians had 12 men on the field. A flag comes in as Noah Power runs near side, and he'll be trampled down at the 34, but this will work as basically a offsides penalty. It'll be 5 yards for Carmi.
Yeah, they will get him for that. Wait for the signal. And that should be 12 men on the field, illegal participation, yep.
Indians trying to sub defensive back out at the last second.
Like I say, you just see how aggressive they are on their defensive line. Thought El Dorado was stout the last week. This team is
a different animal.
I don't think we've been in the tee all night. Power eye maybe once. So, but now with time working against you, Carmi doesn't have time to sit in their conventional running formations for the most part. Although they're going to go to the stack eye here.
2nd and 6 at the 39-yard line. Driscoll under center. Takes a snap, gives it off. Pollard up the middle. Pollard tries to spin to get some running room, and he can't. He'll take it up to about the 37. Gain of about 3. It'll be 3rd and 5 here for Carmi as we are at the 3.5-minute mark in this second quarter.
And if anything, if you can just get a first down, Johnston City out of timeouts, so they can't stop the clock with a timeout. At the very least, if you can get the first down here, you know, even if you don't score, you can get this thing to halftime, possibly without giving up another score. And just do your best to regroup.
So 3rd down and 3. Driscoll under center. He'll take the snap, gives it off. Pollard left side. Pollard runs into a brick wall and nowhere to go. Indians just starting to get a push up front. And now what do you do if you're Carmi? I think you got a punt.
You do. And that, again, that's Evan Sanders, number 44. Just a load off that defensive end, 230-pound. And, again, number 53, Brock Little, another kid who's just been all over the field on defense, 5'6", 200-pound linebacker. They just absolutely bring a load.
Well, they give
Carmi's
Pollard
going
forward progress, so it's a 4th and 2 with the football at the 44. Under center is Driscoll. They go with the hard count, and now Kurt Simon calls a timeout.
Yeah, well, from where the 4th down marker is to where the football is, it looks like the 4th down marker looks like it's only a yard, but the football's spotted almost 2 yards, so it's kind of deceiving. You notice Johnston City kept their linemen back there, not want to jump off sides.
So a timeout taken by Carmi. Will take one as well, back in 30 seconds.
You can buy more of what you want when you save on what you need. Save on meal ingredients by shopping Little Giant Grocery Outlet in Carmi. Little Giant's team of buyers are constantly scanning wholesalers, looking for pantry favorites and meal ingredients at astonishing savings just so you can shop confidently, knowing that you can come in anytime and find great deals from fresh cuts of meat and grocery items to deli, fresh produce, and frozen goods. See just how much more your dollar buys at Little Giant Grocery, Carmi, Illinois.
.224 to go here in the second quarter. Carmi facing a 4th down and 2 at the 43-yard line. Bulldogs initially lined up to go for it. Kurt Simon called a timeout. But with as much as they're discussing, they have the punt team out there. I think they're going to punt.
Yeah, that 4th and that's a long 2. I mean, you can't risk it. Yeah. You got to do what you can.
Got to think field position here.
Just pray you keep them out of the end zone this next 2 minutes and 24 seconds.
So Driscoll back in the punt formation. It's a fake punt. They go to Stockton up the middle, and the Indians are ready for it.
Yep, he was short.
You can't blame the aggressiveness trying to sneak one in, but the Indians, they were ready for it.
They left their regular defense in there. They weren't in punt safe, as they call it. Or actually, they were. They just left their regular defense in there. And
honestly, Chris, with as long as Kurt Simon was talking with the team here on the sideline, I was expecting something.
Yeah.
You just didn't really know what it was going to be.
No.
That might hurt Carmi if the Indians can find the end zone here with 2:18 left to play. Again, no timeouts, and they're not a quickly operating team. Ford under center. He will move a man in motion. He'll take the snap. They toss it far side. Morgan looking for the edge, and he'll weigh on his blockers, then takes it down the sideline out of bounds at around the 37.
And that stops the clock.
Yep. I would imagine a lot of these runs they're going to run here on this drive will be those outside runs trying to find the boundary.
That, and also, in high school, first down does stop the clock. So in this team, they don't have to be in a hurry for anything.
Nope.
Total control of the game at this point.
So 2nd down and 4. Clock is stopped at the 37-yard line. Fort under center. Move Morgan in motion. They hand it off up the middle. That was the fullback, Sanders, who got it. He'll take it up to the 35.
Let's see if they gave him progress. Far side officials right at the
about
marker.
A yard short.
Yeah.
About half a yard short. 3rd and inches as they go quickly back to the line of scrimmage. 1:48 to go here in the second quarter. 24-6 Indians. Under center. This is Fort, probably a quarterback sneak here. And nope, they toss it near side, and Trayton Vickers shoots through and brings down Ashmore in the backfield.
Great play by Vickers.
Surprised by that play call.
Yeah.
3rd at about 6 inches. They lose 5.
Yeah, very shocked. I mean, you got Sanders You got Fort, and you got less than a yard, and you toss it. That is kind of a head scratcher. I think they're going to punt it now. I think
they're going to punt.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're going to bring out their punt team.
Yeah.
So our first 3 and out from the Carmi defense.
Yeah. Just wish it could have came on the drive before. But nonetheless, great job by the Bulldogs just keeping themselves alive.
So they'll let this run down as much as they can. Play clock down to 4. And Fort is the punter. It's a short punt, and it will be down at the 21-yard line. Kate Allen falls on it at the 21. So I would imagine with 46 seconds to go, Carmi will probably just this far away, don't want to risk anything.
Yeah, Johnston City will have their safeties and way back. They'll be playing kind of a prevent look here. You can already see the safeties and corners, good 15 yards off the ball. So if Carmi is going to try for a home run, it'd probably be on the first snap, maybe 2 plays, but if that doesn't work, you just take a knee.
Bulldogs do have 2 timeouts, and Driscoll gives it off to Pollard, and he just runs right into an Indian defensive lineman, and they'll probably just let this clock run out. They don't have to run another play. Indians don't have any timeouts.
Well, like I say, these last 2 weeks, you can just sum it up this way. You see why football is won at the line of scrimmage. Johnston City, on both sides of the line of scrimmage, is just dominant. I mean, they're not overly huge. You know, we've seen teams with bigger players, but, I mean, just the strength at the defensive end position. The inside down tackles are just squatty, short, powerful. Forward and linebacker, and even corners all over the field. They're just a good football team up front on both sides.
That will be the end of the first half as the Bulldogs let the clock run out. And after 2 quarters of play, your score, Johnston City 24, Carmi White County 6. We'll step aside for a 3-minute break. We come back, we'll have the Jordan Funeral Group halftime show right here at 97.3 WRUL.
This is Nancy J. Winter, CPA. Life is always about change, and most businesses have to evolve to succeed. You want to be the best at what you do and do the things you like the most. We want to help you achieve that goal. We can help you design your records to evaluate what's the most profitable aspects. We can also help you evaluate what services are complementary and best offered together to your market niche customers. You know your business, but having the records to back up your business decisions can help with a business loan or just with peace of mind. Contact Nancy J. Winter, CPA, Carmi, 382-2364.
Doing business in today's world can be complicated, time-consuming, and expensive. People's National Bank is here to help your business not only survive, but thrive. With modern-day products such as remote deposit capture, ACH payments, merchant card services, and commercial line of credit sweeps, we can get you paid faster, protect your risk, and make your money work hard for you. Hi, this is Melinda with People's National Bank. Give me a call today and get started. People's National Bank, member FDIC.
Welcome to Pro Rehab Carmi, where our passion is getting you back to life faster. It is our privilege to walk with you every step of the way using evidence-based treatments specifically created just for you. Whether it's sports, general orthopedics, or pelvic floor rehab, you are in the right hands. Your results are worth fighting for, and our team fights for you.
Call 384-7872 or visit Pro Rehab on Main in Carmi and get back to life faster. Shop, click, drive. It's that simple with RiceMotors.com. Picks and pricing updated several times a day.
For more than 70 years, Rush Appliance. We have a large selection of in-stock furniture and appliances for every and an unmatched dedication to superior service. This is Sean Rush inviting you to visit me in Fairfield or my dad Terry in Carmi, where we can help you furnish every room in your house with superb service after the sale.
We are having some more internet issues over on the WRUL Sports YouTube side. We'll get those kinked out before the start of the third quarter. I do want to remind fans that the school Wi-Fi is down, so we are working with what we've got. We do apologize for any inconvenience as the night goes on. The halftime show is produced courtesy of the Jordan Funeral Group, remembering lives well lived and honoring the tradition of Bulldog sports. Visit JordanFuneralGroup.com for more. Well, Chris, Carmi really couldn't have asked for more. Well, Chris, Carmi really couldn't have asked for a better start there in the first couple of minutes. You get a good kickoff return, a quick touchdown. You go up 6-0, but, Johnston City came out, marched right down the field. Carmi was able to get some negative plays as far as defensively, forced negative plays, the turnover on downs. But it just the big plays were the difference. The 2 touchdown passes, one being on 3rd and long, one being on 4th and goal. And that was what Kurt Simon said would be the difference in the game, and it has been so far.
Without question, and even when we were down 8-6, I think a chance for a turning point to happen in that game was that 4th and 1 when we got a stop, Cole, because that was an offense that was just running fullback dives for, 12, 15 yards. And to come up and get a stop like that, they were in our territory.
Yep.
And most of us thinking, well, they'll get this in the yard. And to hold them out like we did, that was a fantastic stop. It's still 8-6. We stopped them. A lot of momentum on our side, and you're thinking, okay, we can get right back in this. But like we say, when you have those opportunities, you have to capitalize on them. You can't waste any time. And this is just a good football team.
Absolutely.
It hasn't been a case of Carmi shooting themselves in the foot necessarily with penalties. We did have the 1 interception, which was big. But, credit Johnston City with good play calling on both of those touchdowns, because you see what a dominant run game does. This offense is so difficult to stop regardless with that wedge system. We've talked about all night. Just from up here, it's hard to know who's got the ball, because with no space between the linemen, with the fullback and the wingbacks inches from the quarterback and him ducking down low, it's hard to see who has it. And when they lull you to sleep, when they pound you with the fullback, the counters, and they're just running and running for chunks and chunks, you have to commit more to the line of scrimmage. You see tonight, we got a 7-man front, 5 down linemen, 2 linemen. Our corners are essentially our ends. You have to do that. They force you to commit to that. And when you get lulled to sleep and the safeties creep up a little more, you're thinking run, and all of a sudden, bam, they hit you with that play action. That second touchdown just snuck the tight end right over the middle and just past the outstretched arm of Cade Stockton. It was a great play just to be there, but they were just a second too soon. That's where they get you. Same thing, 3rd and 17. We're still down. The score at that time was 14-6, I believe. Still in it. Absolutely a 1-score game. 3rd and 17, they're in their territory. They roll the quarterback out to the right. Everyone, you had to be thinking in that situation they might throw the ball. But with the misdirection, if your secondary gets caught looking in the backfield, which you have to do to honor their running game, they sneak a wing back up the sideline, hit him in stride, and he's just off to the races. So, again, that's what this team can do. They don't rely on the pass, but when they do, you just don't expect it, because they when you can run the ball that easily all the time, it just makes passing easy when you have to do it. And, their quarterback, Forts, he's an athlete. 6'4", 200-pounder, and you can tell he can just do a lot of things. So this team is all it's cracked up to be. If we had a question about whether they're mentally ready to go tonight, Johnston City, they're a force, so no question.
I think the biggest thing is the size difference. Obviously, Carmi, no Eli Bryant. It plays a big role because JC's got about 4 Eli Bryants over on their size and on their side, and it's just so hard to compete with, Chris. We talked about the numbers, and you can only play with what you have, and I think Carmi has done what they can, but at some point you just kind of got to tip your cap and just say, like you said, it's a great football team.
Yeah, and our boys have battled valiantly. It's just been like, okay, what else this year with injuries? As we said in the pregame, you and I sat up here in the booth during the Gator Bowl and said there's a lot of talent here, more skilled kids than we've had in a while, good linemen. We can be a good team, but we just got to stay healthy. And unfortunately, it just hasn't happened. No question. Caleb Siebers, if he's playing tonight, Eli Bryant's in the game tonight, as much as anything defensively. Offensively, obviously, we know what Siebers brought to the table, but defensively, what Bryant means and what Sieber means, those are 2 huge losses. Now Beck Huff goes down. There's another weapon in your secondary and your receiving core. Those are blows. You never want to use injuries as an excuse, but when it's 3 players like that are so critical to what you do, it makes it tough. Bryant, especially up front, because he's that big 300-pounder that's taking on the double teams, getting the push, keeping them on their side of the line of scrimmage. You know, that's a difference maker. Caleb Sievers, he was your linebacker. You know, he was in there. He's sideline to sideline. Beck Huff in the secondary and the receiving core. He's a good tackler, good player. I mean, those are huge losses. But with that said, the bottom line is Johnston City is just good.
Yeah.
I mean, this is a good football team. There's a reason. You know, we talked last year how the Black Diamonds kind of had, you know, the reputation, well, it's a terrible conference. You know, they get a good 9-0 team. Johnston City went to semifinals last year.
And they
kind of got
right
that
there.
monkey off
they
the
were
back.
Right there.
Yeah, they were there. And again,
and there's a lot of these players on the field tonight that were a part of that team. They had a big senior class, but a lot of juniors and sophomores that played on that team last year, they were playing tonight.
They sure are. And they've had about a 3-year run where they've had that kind of talent. And this is a team that could possibly do that again.
Absolutely.
I mean, you got a Cessna team.
That's one thing, Chris, and I think that's what can be encouraging with Carmi has had some success tonight. I'm not so sure whoever Carmi plays next week won't be. JC probably is better then, just because, I mean, this is, I really do think the top of this conference this year, Cesar is really good, JC is really good, and Carmi is right there too.
Cesar and JC are without question semifinal caliber teams. Yeah. Those are both teams.
Of course, Cesar's in 1A too.
Yeah,
so
Cesar goes 1A.
Yeah.
They may be in Champaign or Bloomington, wherever they're playing it this year. I mean, I'll go as far to say that. You know, JC, they're probably going to be 2A. I don't think they'll be 3. They'll be 2. They could be right back in the semifinal. Yeah. I mean, those are two teams I put up against anyone.
Yeah.
You know, and you're right, Cole. For the Bulldogs, you know, a quarter and a half, this game was, you know, looking close. It's not over. You know, we still got a half to play. These kids aren't quitting. No one's quitting. You know, but it's just going to prepare you for what lies ahead next week. The positive is, no matter what, we're in the playoffs, and these kids are going to be playing football again next week regardless. There's going to be a lot of teams in Southern Illinois packing up their pads after tonight and calling it a year.
Yeah.
We've got the privilege of going into the postseason. So you're right, Cole. There's a chance who we see next week may not be as strong as this Johnston City team, because this Johnston City team is going to be 8-1. Cesar's going to be 9-0. I expect both those teams to be quarterfinal potential, semifinal. And again, in Cesar's case, 1A, you never know.
Yep.
They could get to the big dance.
Looking at other scores from around the area, last night, Fairfield, they played Everett County. Last night, they won that game 52-7, so the Mules become playoff eligible. Looks like Cesar-Valier, they're going to run away and win the conference. They were up 40-0. Last I heard, that one was close to halftime. In halftime in Christopher, it is El Dorado and CZR tied at 24 at intermission. 46-0 was that Cesar-Valier Flora halftime score. I believe those are the only conference games going on tonight. Hamilton County is playing in West Frankfort, and again, if the Foxes win that, they'll go to the playoffs, but haven't heard a score update from that game yet so far tonight. But as far as the score here in Carmi, it is Johnston City leading the Bulldogs 24-6 here at the break. We'll step aside for a 3-minute break, come back and have the third quarter for you between Carmi and Johnston City right here on 97.3 WRUL.
Slay's Restoration, restoring communities for more than 30 years with a rapid response.
We're proud of it. Southern Illinois Trading and Supply, where small town value meets big city selection.
Welcome to Taylor Eye Care on Falcon Avenue in Carmi. Excellence in eye care.
From thorough examinations utilizing advanced equipment and technology to premier optical products, here at Taylor Eye Care, we treat every patient like family, going above and beyond the expected for a truly memorable eye care experience. Simply put, we are excellence in eye care.
If you're looking to brighten and enhance your vision, don't hesitate to contact us today. 382-4683.
What you need, when you need it. Wabash Christian Therapy on Oak Street in Carmi has what you need. From outpatient therapy serving pediatrics to geriatrics, when you need it. Flexible hours for your convenience, state-of-the-art equipment, private treatment rooms, and personalized programs tailored to fit you and delivered by a therapy team committed to compassionate care. Wabash Christian Therapy on Oak Street in Carmi. Learn more by calling 382-2927 today or search Wabash Christian Therapy on Facebook. Wabash Christian Therapy in Carmi. Better every day.
Whether you're a competitive athlete or want to enjoy a stroll around your neighborhood, orthopedic health is critical to your quality of life. The Orthopedic and Sports Medicine team at Wabash General Hospital treats injuries and disorders of the bones, joints, ligaments, tendons, muscles, and spine so you can return to moving through life with greater comfort and ease. To schedule an appointment, call 618-263-6400. Wabash General Hospital, people you know helping people you love.
The Carmi Kiwanis Club would like to genuinely thank the community for enjoying and supporting another wonderful Corn Day in Carmi. Special thanks goes to sponsors for helping fund our annual festival. And congratulations to perennial float powerhouse Brownsville School for their wonderful parade entry and winning the Roaring 20s theme parade, as well as our brand new Corn King and Queen, Aiden Jordan and Ansley Healy. The Carmi Kiwanis Club, proudly serving the children of the world.
Our halftime here at Harrington Jeffries. It's Johnston City leading the Bulldogs 24-6. Cole Carter and Chris Myers with you. Asher Penrod's back at the WRUL studio. Haley Winkleman and Kai Roberts in that situation. But as far as the game, again, 24-6, Johnston City, a 4th and 7 touchdown pass from around the 9-yard line. Then that 67-yard 3rd and 17 touchdown pass really has been the difference here. Chris, I made the point also, the fact they've got all 3 2-point conversions hurts also. It's now a 3-possession game, and they get the ball to start the second half. If it's a 22-6 game, it's a 2-score game, it's a little bit different approach to it, but now it feels like, Carmi, you need a punt or a turnover here on this first defensive possession.
Yeah, the second one they got on the 4th and 7,
great play call.
Great play call. You can kind of, you accept it, but you're like, okay, that was good. The hard one, the backbreaker to me was the 3rd and 17, because like I said, we were in their side of the field. You get them off the field there, they're punting to us.
Yeah.
That other score doesn't happen. This might be a 1-possession game. So that 3rd and 17 shows why they're going to be 9-0. But if you're the Bulldogs, what you have to do, it's the same way as when you're up big. When you're down big, you just have to put in your head that it's 0-0.
Yep.
You come out in the third quarter, you erase the scoreboard. You start from square one, especially if you're a senior. This could be your last 2 quarters of football on this field, ever. So the seniors especially, you have no reason to hold back. You just wipe the score out of your mind, start the slate course, but you're still alive.
And Chris, you got to go back week 5. Carmi trailed Fairfield 20-6.
They did.
And that was in the first quarter.
Yeah.
And they were able to come back and really dominate that game.
Yeah.
Lots of football left, but like I said, Carmi, you got to get a stop right here.
Yeah, if John trying to negative that, but that's a pretty steep hill to climb. If we can get them off the field, they're still alive.
Yeah.
But regardless, I'll say this: I know these boys in maroon and white are not going to quit until the last second ticks off this clock. So knowing these kids from the time
and so the Bulldogs will kick off to start the third quarter, and it's a high kick, going to be picked up at around the 27-yard line and running up across the 45. That's going to be number 2. That is Ashmore on the return up to around the 47. And that will be where the Indians start this drive.
Great field position for them. That's key in games like this. I think they've started every possession almost at their 40 or better.
Really both teams have.
Yeah.
Outside the punts, as far as kickoffs, both teams have been able to get some good kickoff returns. But I think, Carmi, as far as a scores perspective and a momentum's perspective, a takeaway right here would be monumental.
Some kind of break. You have to hope for some kind of break.
First down and 10. Under center is Fort, the quarterback. He'll take the snap. Fullback give goes to Sanders right up the gut, and you just see how they're just able to squeak out 4 yards when there's really nothing there.
They just – and there's so many ways – you try to guess what they're doing by the motion of the wing back.
When you really can't guess.
That wing back, sometimes he'll just be kind of creeping along, just a slow hop, and you're thinking, okay, it's coming inside. Other times he may go on a sprint to the outside, but it's just so methodical what they do. It's just something to watch.
Second down and 7, ball at midfield. Under center is Fort. Man in motion, they toss it near side. This is going to be Weaver, the ball carrier, and this is going to be a hold It was a good play by Landon Driscoll. He's made a couple of nice tackles there on the edge from his quarterback position.
He sure has.
Yep.
And again, earlier in the game, like Wiggins did that time, Trayton Vickers forced that play because he took on that slot receiver, held him at bay, kept his position. By doing that, not getting hooked, forcing that to the outside, you give your safety time to come over the top and make that play. Credit Driscoll with the good play. But equally as important was Trayton Vickers forcing that block wide.
And Vickers was the one that was held that forces, and you see how far this football's got to go back, 10 yards from that spot of the foul. Very similar spot that Carmi was in earlier with that 3rd and 17. Now it's only 2nd down. Just can't allow a big play here.
No, now you're saying, okay, watch the pass. Everybody read your keys is the concept we use. Corner safeties, the safeties cannot look in the backfield. They've got to concentrate on the wing and the tight end.
2nd and 20 from the 38-yard line. Back to
Same
pass
play.
goes Fort. He rolls out to his right, pump fake. Now he's going to take off, and he'll get across the 40-yard line. Great job downfield by Carmi. Cade Allen was guarding that deep tight end. And so here we go, 3rd and long. Definitely not 4-down territory if you can keep them within 10 yards here.
Exact same scenario as earlier in the game. And this time, you be ready for the play action. But who knows? Johnston City could hit the fullback. They could come back, 44, Sanders is not a bad option even on 3rd and 17 for this football team. But one indicator they do kind of give away, when the wing sprints in motion, a lot of times that's an indicator they're going to run that sweep or maybe roll out and throw the ball. Let's see what we get here.
3rd and 17. Play clock down to 2. Fort back to pass. He rolls out right.
Screen.
They run a screen off the right side. Making the catch and running is Morgan, and he's going to be brought down.
Nope.
Flag came in late. I think you're right, Chris.
I think they're going to get holding down the field.
There's a flag
and
at
it was
the
a good
45-yard line. Morgan was tackled just shy of the 1st down marker. Again, a good play call by Todd Thomas, but it's going to come back.
I think Vickers or Pollard got held out there right around about 3 yards shy of the marker. That's where it's thrown. So, it was a hold.
Bulldogs catch a break. And so now on 3rd, and they'll probably it'll probably end up being about a 5-yard loss just given where the penalty might even be. They're not even going to lose any yardage here, but it's still 3rd down. 3rd and about 15.
And just something else they throw at you.
Yep.
And then you think, okay, bring the kitchen sink, then they throw a screen pass.
Under center is Fort on 3rd and 14. Fort back to pass again. They throw it near side, and that's going to be picked off by Landon Driscoll. I'll tell you what, if he slips out of that tackle, he might be down the other way. That's what Carmi needs. Rush appliance 1st down.
I said they have heart. Credit.
And, Chris, that might have been the same play they were on that long touchdown trying to find Cosser.
I think it was. It was the same player, number 3, Cosser, who caught that touchdown pass in the first half. This time Driscoll was there. And, Cole, if he doesn't get tripped up, credit Cosser.
Yes, absolutely.
Became the defender. If he doesn't trip him up, Driscoll may be in the end zone right now.
Exactly what Carmi needed. So here we go. This is a big possession here for the Bulldogs to try to get back in the ballgame. Under center is Driscoll in the offset tee. They move Wickens in motion, handoff Pollard left side. Noah will lean forward and get about 3, up to about the 43.
You notice one thing I've noticed tonight, Johnston City's defenders don't really crowd the line of scrimmage depending on our formation. But, again, coming off that edge, Sanders is just so strong over there. I mean, there's been some plays he's just absolutely just ragdolling him off the ball, and, he's just such a force.
2nd down and 7. Bulldogs send 2 receivers out left. Driscoll in the shotgun. Play action pass. Pressure up the middle. They try to go with the screen. Pollard has it. Blockers in front. Noah waits for a block. Now gets it across midfield. 1st down and more. Noah Pollard all the way to the Indian 44-yard line. Love the play call. Rush appliance 1st down.
Kind of Johnston City, if you can do it, we can too. And that's honestly probably the first time I've seen us flawlessly execute a screen this year. Couldn't come at a better time. Keep that defense honest. You got strong edge players just flying upfield. That's how you keep them honest. And the Bulldogs have definitely not said anything's over yet.
Need to put together a score here. 8 minutes to play in the third quarter, 24-6. Driscoll moves Wiggins in motion. They fake the toss. Counter goes to Pollard, and he gets stood up right away.
It's just not been there tonight.
And that counter play, Chris, it's got to be so bang, and
yeah,
with these big dudes up front, that's hard to run.
With big 76 in there, Roper Sanders and Jude Beers. I mean, I'm just telling you, folks, if you're watching this on TV, don't adjust your sets because they're that big and that strong live as well.
Well, I'll tell you what, they've got these big players, but if you look at number 22 there at safety, Weaver, whopping 5'3".
Yeah.
And he's made some plays tonight.
He has. Don't let his size fool you.
Second down and 10. Driscoll in the shotgun. Pollard to his right. Back to pass goes Driscoll. They try to go with another screen, and it's incomplete. They tried to go that time to Vickers, but the Indians' defensive lineman did a good job of kind of staying home and waiting for it.
Yeah, even if he caught that, number 54, Diego Garza was right there waiting on Vickers. Might have got a little bit out of it, but as perfectly executed as that other one was, this one not so much.
So here we go, 3rd and 10. Ball at the Johnson City 44-yard line. Bulldogs going to bring out their spread formation. And again, you want to get about at least 6 or 7 yards here, make it a 4th. But before they snap it, the Indians call a timeout. With 7:14 to play here in the third quarter, 24-6 Indians lead. We'll take one as well. Back in 30 seconds.
The alarm sounds, coffee brews, and the porch light guides your steps toward another busy day. Just like you, Invenergy Solar is up with the sun. Invenergy's Boomtown Solar project will create up to 400 construction jobs and create enough electricity to power 40,000 American homes. Invenergy expects to invest $60 million over the project's lifetime, helping illuminate the future of all in White County. Private investment developed on private property with public benefits. Invenergy.
7:14 to play here in the third quarter. Bulldogs facing a 3rd and 10 at the Johnson City 44-yard line, with the Indians leading it 24-6. Bulldogs just got an interception from Landon Driscoll. A couple of first down runs by Noah Pollard puts us at this spot. You know, not necessarily not 4-down territory, but I think you've got to get 6 or 7 yards here to make it a 4th and manageable.
You do. You can't be 4th and 10. You know, you got to get something out of this. Again, for the most part, the Bulldog offensive line has done a good job of giving Driscoll time. They're just going to have to connect on one of these routes.
3rd down and 10. Driscoll, play action pass. He's got time, plenty of time. Throws it over the middle, caught by Allen. First down at the 25-yard line, down to the 23. Great throw by Landon Driscoll.
Excellent job. Had a trips look there to the field. Allen came open over the middle, kind of doing a zone coverage look, three defenders deep, and Allen just came over on the 15-yard kind of like a post route, just kind of a 10, 15-yard in. And once again, I've said it all night, this offensive line, credit to pass protection tonight. Driscoll has had all day to throw, dropping back.
And that makes a big difference. Indians obviously
huge.
are backing off and trying to play coverage, but Driscoll has not been running for his life back there. First down and 10, ball at the Indian 23. That was a rush appliance first down, and the handoff goes to Noah Pollard, and Noah tries to bounce it, but good pursuit by the Indian defensive line. 53, Brody Little made the tackle.
Just going to have a hard time trying to hit that edge, like I've said all night. Number 9 and number 44 at these ends, they are just absolute beasts. Jude Beers at 6'2", 225, and Evan Sanders at 6'1", 230. I mean, those two are bookends.
6:10 to play here in the second quarter. That was a loss of 1 there on the run by Pollard. So 2nd 11, ball at the Indian 24-yard line. Driscoll rolls out to his right, looking, throws it, incomplete. He was looking for Cade Allen. There was pressure coming in by Sanders. Driscoll couldn't get much on that throw, and another big 3rd and long.
Keaton Fort back there on the coverage. Again, the 6'4" quarterback playing defensive back. I mean, you got a 6'4" DB who can get back there and run, much like Carmi with Driscoll.
Yeah.
But, Fort at almost 200 pounds is, just a big, strong kid. And like I said, what Johnston City has at their skill position is what's so impressive. At linebacker, at defensive end, at quarterback. You know, strength up front, but just they got some solid skill players.
3rd down and 11, ball at the Indian 24-yard line. In the shotgun is Driscoll. Play action pass. Landon looks, throws over the middle, incomplete.
And he had Pollard.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Not on the same page.
No, if Pollard's looking for that ball, that's a completion. I'm not sure what Noah was doing there. But, I mean, if he's looking back towards the quarterback, he catches that in stride.
Could have been 6.
Yeah, easily. You almost saw Noah just quit running, and I'm not sure what he was doing, but definitely miscommunication because that was 6 points.
4th and 11.
By spreading the field, what it does, you see Johnston City with 3 defensive backs deep. It leaves a single safety, and it leaves the middle of the field open.
Timeout, Kurt Simon, with 5:54 to play here in the 3rd quarter. Johnston City leading 24-6. We'll take one as well. Back in 30 seconds on 97.3 WRUL.
Well, folks, that ain't country, but this is Skylar Harrelson from Jansen Auto in Carmi. It's been my pleasure to help my friends and neighbors get into the cars or trucks of their dreams for the last couple of years. Here at Jansen Auto, we're bringing you great vehicles at better than expected prices. There's really no reason to shop anywhere else. If we don't have it, we'll get it. All new vehicles are priced at huge discounts. Your hometown dealer, Jansen Auto Group in Carmi. Stop by and see why.
Back here in Carmi, 5:54 to play in the 3rd quarter, 24-6. Johnston City with the lead. Cole Carter and Chris Myers with you. We're coming to you live from the Carmi Lumber broadcast booth as it's 4th and 11 for the Bulldogs at the Johnston City 24-yard line. You know, Chris, obviously you would have liked to get something there on 3rd down to give yourself a 4th and manageable. You just don't have many plays set up for 4th and 11.
No.
But you got to get something here.
You have to put it in the air because obviously you're not going to get it on the ground against this Indian defense. So, again, the middle of the field has been open, you know, and a lot of that is based on the type of routes the trips look. They're playing that man up. So this trips look is to this side of the field. Keep your eye.
Play action pass here on 4th down. Driscoll rolls right, pumps, looking. He's got to get rid of it. He's going to try to take off. Down the sideline goes Driscoll, puts his shoulder down, and he's going to be short by about 3 yards.
Yeah.
He had to get to the 14-yard line. He was tackled at about the 17, and it'll be a turnover on downs. Not a bad play by Driscoll to get something there out of nothing, but just had too much ground to cover.
It's a valiant effort, just good coverage downfield. You almost look back and think, if we did that on 3rd down, then it's 4th and 5 now. But did his best to make something out of nothing. I thought he might go ahead and try to wing it in the corner there when he was approaching the line of scrimmage, but credit Johnston City with doing what they had to do. And the Bulldogs really needed to get out of there with some points, give themselves some confidence, and make this, 2-score. Now Johnston City can just do what they do.
5:44 to play here in the 3rd quarter. 1st and 10 for the Indians at the 17-yard line. Fullback give goes, or correction, I think that was Fort who kept it up the middle.
Yeah.
And he was able to get about 5 yards. Or correction, that was Morgan who took it.
Yeah, I thought we had him stop for a loss there for a second. Connor Buchanan doing a nice job at the line of scrimmage, getting low and just blowing that up the best he could. But you can just see how this it's like stopping the combine reel. You know, it's what it's trying to do. If there is such a thing as stopping a combine with your hands, I kind of made that up. But
another criticism.
You got criticism, yes.
2nd down and 5. Fort under center. They go fullback give to Sanders, and that was Gavin Payton that stood him up and was able to hang on to him, bring him down.
Gavin Payton.
Johnson finished it off also.
Yeah, Gavin Payton has been huge tonight.
Yep.
Big number 50. He's kind of one of those unsung players sometimes, but he has been a force all year long when it comes to making big plays at big times. And, he's just been a good, solid, consistent football player his whole career.
Big 3rd down here.
Yeah.
It's not necessarily 4-down territory if you can push them back here.
Keep them right where they are. They're punting, but let's see.
3rd and 6, Fort under center. They try to go with the hard count. They move a man in motion. They toss it. Near side comes Morgan. He'll be drugged down near the first down marker at about the 28-yard line, and I think he's got enough for a first.
By a half a yard.
First time they've really gone to that toss dive play.
Yeah, where the quarterback leads. It was close. But that's what good teams do. Third and 6 or 7 is in that kind of field position is a little bit panicky for some teams. But for Johnston City, it's just another day at the office.
Yeah.
And I think they're playing it so conservative here because they were inside their 20, so they had to be careful not to turn the ball over.
So 1st and 10, ball at the 28-yard line. 4 minutes left to play here in the third quarter. Fort under center, fullback give back to Sanders, and correction, I think that was Morgan who got it.
They got to take all that on. That's a big task in most situations. So that's why this offense, as I've said all night, is so difficult to defend. Difficult situations. Behind 3 backs if they wanted to. Behind 3 backs if they wanted to. I mean, that's another play they got in this offense.
So 1st down and 10 at the 40, under 2 minutes left to go here in the third quarter. 24-6 Johnston City. Fort moves a man in motion. They fake the toss. Inside give, and there he is again. Gavin Payton able to sniff that one out and bring down Ashmore for a loss.
Great job. And I'll say this again. Connor Buchanan, once again, just not giving up any ground. He's keeping the center at the line of scrimmage, and that's a key. If your center is getting push, and especially when you got a fullback that close to the line, it's devastating. But if your nose guard can do that, he can blow it up.
2nd and 12. Under center is Fort. No flag as they try to go with the hard count. They call an audible from the sideline. Fort under center here on 2nd and 12. 1 minute left to play in the third quarter. They toss it. Cossey up the middle. He gets past the first wave and will be brought down at around the 46-yard line, 47. Another 3rd and medium coming up for the Indians. Under a minute left to go here in the third quarter, 45 seconds.
Good tackle by Driscoll, bringing Cossey down on his own because that had a lot of real estate in front of it. That was that same play, quarterback leading through. And I had to look twice, see who had the ball on that one.
Every play I'm looking at least twice, every 2
like
or 3
I say,
times.
Folks at home watching this game, if we're having to figure out who's got the ball up here, imagine, as I've said all night, imagine what it's like being a defender and trying to figure it out.
3rd and 5, Fort. They toss it near side. This is going to be Morgan who's going to get the first down. Just the patience and waiting for the hole to open up.
Yeah, and I thought we had him in the backfield. I thought that was going to be a tackle for a loss.
And that will be the final play of the third quarter as Morgan takes it up to the Carmi 47-yard line. So neither team finds the end zone here in quarter number 3. We go to the fourth quarter with your score, Johnston City 6, Johnston City 24, Carmi White County 6. Back in 1 minute on 97.3 WRUL.
When it comes to tax preparation, experience counts. Hi, this is Dewana with Butch & Associates CPAs in Carmi. Taxes are complicated, but choosing a tax professional shouldn't be. We have the knowledge and experience to make the most of your tax return. Turn to the professionals at Butch & Associates CPAs in Carmi. Call 382-4151. That's 382-4151. Also visit online at butch.com. That's BOTSCH.com.
Before you drive a nail, drive to Carmi Lumber. From cabinets and flooring, doors and paint, lumber and hardware, to shingles and siding. Knowledgeable and friendly staff that have your back on all those home projects and even deliver to your door. So before you drive a nail, drive to Carmi Lumber for the woods, the goods, and the know-how. Visit Carmi Lumber, North 3rd Street in Carmi and carmilumber.net.
We start the fourth quarter. It is Johnston City leading Carmi White County 24-6. Indians have the football at the Carmi 46. Cole Carter and Chris Myers with you. Asher Penrod back at the WRUL studio. Haley Winkleman, Kai Roberts with us for those of you watching on the WRUL Sports YouTube channel. On first down, they go with the toss to Cossey up the middle. He's got 2 touchdowns tonight through the air for the Indians, and he's got a 9-yard gain there on first down up to the 37-yard line. You know, Chris, we talked during the break. I think if you're Kurt Simon and you're looking at how this game has gone, the effort was definitely there, and obviously win-wise it doesn't count for anything, but I think you got to be encouraged with how last week was and how bad it was at times. You know, you're one or two plays away from this being a different game.
Absolutely. These kids have played hard tonight. You can't question the Bulldogs' effort whatsoever.
And I have no idea who's got the football here.
22.
That was 22. That was Weaver who got the carry there, and he
be
didn't
a little
get
short.
much.
No, he might be short.
And there's a Bulldog down.
Yeah.
I think that might be Gavin Payton.
Let's see, yeah.
He's cramping up, by the way.
Yeah,
cramping up is Gavin Payton as Bennett Richter, and Ashlyn Rager will stretch him out as we'll step aside for a quick break, and when we come back, it'll be 3rd and short here for the Indians. It's Bulldog Football, 97.3 WRUL.
Hello, Bulldog fans. This is Kyle Hosick with Country Financial. It's been great coming back to my hometown of Carmi, supporting our Bulldogs as well as my current and future clients. Whether you're looking for auto or home insurance, insurance for your business, life insurance, or a retirement plan, I can help. I take pride in quality customer service and promise to listen to what's important to you while ensuring you have the right coverages. Stop by my office to see what sets us apart. Country Financial Representative Kyle Hosick, 603 West Main in Carmi.
All right, 48 seconds off the clock here in the fourth quarter as they are still working on Gavin Payton at around the 37-yard line, getting stretched out by the Bulldog athletic training staff as they're trying to work out those cramps. While we have a minute, we'll take a look at some other scores from around the area. In the third quarter, El Dorado leads CZR 38-24. That will be the final game of the season for both of those teams. Cesar Villiers still leading big over Flora. They'll run away and win that game. Last I had heard from West Frankfort, it was them and Hamilton County tied at 24 at halftime. That was about 15 minutes ago. And again, Fox has got to win that game in order to get into the playoffs.
Yeah, not sure if Frankfort was already playoff eligible or not.
They were just 2-5.
2-5.
And
Okay.
they're in a tough river to river.
Yeah, they were an improved team, but that river to river's pretty stacked.
And
you're in, you're out.
There's talks of, Vienna, if they leave the BDC, there's going to be an opening, and
West Frankfort.
could see West Frankfort slide in. That's what the talk of the town is.
It'd probably be the year after next.
Yes,
if it were
I would
to happen.
imagine. So here we go, 3rd and inches here for the Indians. As the clock punches in, we're at 11 minutes left to play in the ball game. Fort under center. They move a man in motion, hand it off to Cossey, who tries to bounce it. Flag comes in.
It's in the hold face mask area normally. I'd say that might be a possible face mask.
I think the only penalties we've had called tonight is one or the other, holding or a face mask. And they are talking to Johnston City's side, so it's going to be they call it against Johnston City.
Face mask against Johnston City.
Yeah.
So
I was kind of
it was
surprised.
a face mask.
Yeah.
It was just against Johnston City.
So again, and the Indians have had a couple of self-inflicted wounds.
Yeah.
And where they marked that, so that was only a 5-yard face mask.
Yeah.
So it puts the football at the 40.
So I guess we still have the variety in high school, the 15-yard and the 5.
I think it's different. The accidental is only 5, and if you just grab it and pull it off, that's going to be 15. But
I know the NFL did away with it.
Yes,
they just
it's
just
15
straight
no matter
face
what.
mask. Yeah.
So it makes a 3rd and 1 first down pickup to now a 3rd and 5 at the 40-yard line. Fort under center. He'll take the snap. They toss it. This is Weaver looking for some running room. He'll weave his way across the 30 and taken down at the Carmi 24-yard line.
And Weave is just right because he's hard to see behind that massive line.
5'3".
And what a unique football player, that size. But, I mean, that's the perfect guy to run behind a line like that. He's hard to find.
Well, in this offense in general, just the variety of what you have to carry the football.
Yeah.
You've got a defensive tackle basically as your fullback, and then you go to speedsters like Weaver and Cossey. It's just they've got everything.
Yeah.
And then a 6'4" quarterback as well. Ford under center on 1st and 10. They toss it. And this is, I believe, Cossey, the carrier. Actually, that was Ashmore who got it.
And you touched on it, Cole. I mean, it is definitely, this team is a running back by committee. There isn't a 1,000-yard rusher. There isn't one guy just absolutely dominating in yardage. I mean, they spread the wealth. Yeah. And it's worked brilliantly for them all season.
Gavin Payton went back in for that play. He had to hobble off, still trying to fight through that cramp as we are now down to 9:45 left to play here in the ball game. 24-6 Johnston City. Fort under center. He'll take the snap. They toss it. This is going to be Ashmore again, and he'll run into Noah Pollard, who meets him at the 15-yard line. About a yard shy of a first down. It feels like every other play it's 3rd and short for the Indians.
Yeah.
Be 3rd and about 2.
And this is the point in the game that this team just wears you out.
Yeah.
They're just constantly pounding on you, especially your interior linemen. You're just getting beaten on the whole game. 2 and 3 linemen, double, triple team all night. You're taking that on. And by the 4th quarter, it's just you're just wore down. The Bulldogs will have to dig deep here to keep them out of the end zone.
3rd and 2, Fort under center. Takes a snap. Fullback give, I believe. Nope, I was wrong. It was the second man through.
Yeah.
I think Morgan got it.
It was that power G lineman coming around.
That's a first down.
Just call that an old-fashioned convoy.
It's actually Cossey was the one who got it, and he's able to pick up the first down up to the 11-yard line. So the Indians trying to march in. That would probably put this one away, 24-6. 8:44 left to go.
Gavin Payton out, still trying to fight through those cramps. That's a huge loss on that D-line. Let's see if he's going to try to get back in there. Cramps are usually about hydration, so maybe you can slam some water real quick.
When you like him and you rarely leave the field, it's hard to get fully hydrated. 1st and 10 for the Indians. And it's a fullback give that goes to Sanders, and he's in for the touchdown. 11-yard run for Evan Sanders, and the Indians, I've just put the exclamation point on this Week 9 win. Makes it 36 with 8:17 to go.
Well, you can't credit the Bulldogs for lack of effort.
Absolutely.
The turnaround they made just effort-wise and just the way they battled from last week was night and day. But at the end of the day, good teams do what good teams do. They make plays at the right times. Johnston City getting that touchdown on 4th and 7, and then the backbreaker late in the second on 3rd and 17. That really was the difference in the game. Credit Carmi for playing a good 3rd quarter, but eventually, they just wear you out.
Indians will go for 2. Under center is Fort. He will take the snap. They toss it. This is Weaver, and he will be stopped short.
Yeah.
Oh, as far as possession-wise, it doesn't change anything. Still a 3-score game, but only 8:17 left to go. And the Indians will kick it off. So 30-6, Johnston City leads. We'll step aside for a 30-second break right here on 97.3 WRUL.
Your partner in auto repair. That's Cherry Street Automotive in Carmi. You get service, expertise, and a promise you'll drive away satisfied. Complete engine and body repair, 24-hour-a-day wrecker and towing service, tires from sales and service, and repair including muffler service, brakes, shocks, suspension, and more. When quality counts, count on Cherry Street Automotive in Carmi. Your partner in auto repair. Call 382-7165 today.
$8:17 left to play in the ball game. The Indians extend their lead. They've scored 30 unanswered as they lead at 30-6 here over Carmi White County. Again, the Bulldogs will be in action again next weekend. We will find out who their opponent will be, where it will be at, and when it will be played tomorrow night when the IHSA releases the playoff bracket. And again, if Carmi can't come back to win this game, you're looking anywhere between a 7 seed to possibly an 11 seed. Top 8 seeds will host in the first round. So still a likely chance Carmi could be at home next weekend. So the Indians will get set to kick this one away. Short kick. It'll be fielded by Kate Allen on the run from the 30-yard line. Allen looks, tries to go to the other side, tries to cut back inside, and he'll be met with forward progress at about the 34-yard line. Well,
if you're the Bulldogs right now, again, you just finish these 8 minutes with heart.
Yep.
It's your more than likely. I mean, it's going to be hard to say. Our odds of getting a home game,
you really just never know,
a coin
Chris.
flip.
And I remember last year I tried to, after that Florida game, I tried to do the math and count playoff points, but there's some teams that are 1A that are on the border, like Athens was last year. You never really know until they announce it.
Yeah.
We'll talk more about that as we go throughout the remainder of this game. Driscoll in the shotgun here on first down. They run the option. Landon keeps it. Nice run here for Landon Driscoll. First down across midfield. Driscoll across the 45 and taken down at the 40. Nice run there by Landon Driscoll. First time we've seen the quarterback option, I believe, all year. That's a Rush Appliance first down to the 37.
Maybe saw it one other time, but I've kind of said the last few weeks I'd like to see him more involved with his legs because for that reason right there, for his athletic ability, and a new wrinkle there with him keeping. He's showing what he can do. We talk about Keaton Fort for JC, but like I say, Driscoll at 6'4", and I've said
he's an
hardwood.
athlete.
Yeah, you basketball fans will see him here in a few weeks on the hardwood. So he's a tremendous athlete.
Carmi confused offensively, and they're going to have to burn a timeout with 7:47 to go here in the fourth quarter. A couple of guys not too sure where to line up after the long first down run by Driscoll. So we'll take a timeout as well. Back in 30 seconds.
Citizens National Bank of Albion has always been in the business of making dreams come true.
Are you like many in the community that have dreamed of owning your own business?
Bring your ideas in and speak to one of our commercial loan professionals in Albion, Olney, Crossville, and Bridgeport.
Our competitive rates and solid decision making will make it the best decision you've ever made.
Let us help you get started, and we'll watch your business grow.
Citizens National Bank of Albion, no better banking.
Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Cole Carter and Chris Myers with you. Big thanks to Asher Penrod back at the WRUL studio. Haley Winkleman and Kai Roberts with us. For those of you watching on the WRUL Sports YouTube channel. After the first down run by Landon Driscoll and a Kurt Simon timeout, Carmi has it 1st and 10 at the Indian 37-yard line. Johnston City leads it 30-6. Driscoll under center here on first down. Play action pass here. Driscoll looking left, still looking. He's got time, but he rolls out to his right, and he can't get away. Football comes out. Cade Stockton picks it up, and he's got nowhere to go, and Driscoll is slow to get up.
Yeah. Let's hope Driscoll's okay. But
Evan Sanders came off the edge, and Driscoll tried to roll out and just couldn't get away from him, and
Sanders
a big loss there.
Just came through like a Mack truck. I mean, he had plenty of time, but once, I've said this a million times, Cole, once 5 seconds go by and you're a quarterback, you've got to know I got to get rid of the ball or just make something positive. It's tough to get around a kid like Sanders. He's just so big and strong.
And most of these pass plays, when you know the pressure's coming, it's got to be, like you said, a 1 read, 2 read, and if it's not there, you got to take off or throw it away.
By the time 1,004 is in your head, you throw it away.
So the sack and the fumble puts the football back at the 49-yard line. Play action pass again here for Driscoll. They're trying to set up a screen, and it's caught by Pollard, far sideline, and Noah puts his shoulder down where he's hit out of bounds at around the 43.
Got some of it back. So still 3rd and long, but, at least you got it to where it's a little more
it's a good
manageable.
play call for 2nd and 22.
It definitely was. So now at least you got it back onto their side of the field.
So I thought he was out at around the 42. They put it at the 45. So
yeah, I thought so too.
You probably have to go for it if it gets to 4th down, regardless here, just given the circumstance. But
yeah, you have to play like you're trying to win, which obviously you still are.
3rd and call it 18 for Carmi at the 45-yard line. Driscoll in the shotgun, play action, back to pass, throws one over the middle, intercepted. Picked off by Ben Morgan. Driscoll's 2nd pick of the night. He got hit on the release. He's a little slow to get up.
Yeah.
And that will just about do it.
Called his name all night, Roper Sanders. Just an absolute force along that defensive line. Forced Driscoll to throw that one early. And that is going to do it.
Yeah. And again, Chris, I don't think, if you're talking from an effort perspective, Carmi gave it all they had tonight. This is a very, very good football team. But like you said, they are going to win at least one playoff game, if not 2 or 3.
Minimum. you're right, Cole. It's not an effort thing tonight.
Yeah.
It's just this is a good team.
Yeah.
They're just a stacked football team.
6:34 left to play. The toss goes to Kasi left side, and he will able to get this one across the 40, and pretty much this will just be the Indians just trying to run the rest of this clock out. You know, if I'm Carmi, I wouldn't maybe second guess taking some kids out just to not risk anything, because again, you're going to play again next weekend.
Yeah, you are. And of course, these seniors, they're in there thinking, I don't want to come out. You know, it's the last 6 minutes. Maybe I play in this field. We don't know.
Yep.
That is the positive. You got football left next week.
Fort under center here on 2nd down and 4. He'll take the snap. He'll toss it. This is Morgan, and Morgan will be mad as he ran to his own lineman. Then Nelson Ryder came from the defensive end spot and brought him down. It'll be 3rd down. So, you know, Carmi, you know, they can't come back and win this game. They finished 7-2. You kind of ask yourself what happens. You know, I can recall the last 2 times Carmi was 7-2 back in 2016, and of course last year they were at home in the first round, but they played 2 really good football teams in the first round. So, again, you never really know what seed you're going to get, and you know sometimes being on the road in the first round might help you out in certain circumstances.
And our 2 losses were to the 2 best teams in the conference. So point-wise, it doesn't hurt you as bad.
They toss it near side. This is going to be Ashmore trying to find the edge, and a great job there by Cale Wiggins.
I'm telling you, all night long, he has forced those pitches. Johnston City hasn't had a lot of success to the outside for that very reason. That is textbook defense by a corner taking on a blocker to the field. When that wing back comes out there to try to pin him in the edge, Wiggins has forced that wide all night and allowed Driscoll or whoever's support is to come and make that play, and we got him off the field.
I mean, the Indians will punt with just 5:07 left to play. As Kasi ran out of bounds there, so the clock does stop, and it will definitely stop here as Todd Thomas will burn his 2nd timeout with 5:07 left to play here in the 4th quarter. We'll step aside for a 30-second break. It's Bulldog football on 97.3 WRUL.
Trucks, trucks, and more trucks. Trucktoberfest is here at Expressway Ford with tons of trucks in stock. And we're slashing prices, over $9,000 off MSRP on new 2023 Ford F-150 XLT and rates as low as 1.9% APR. That's right, over $9,000 off the #1 selling truck in America for 46 years. Hurry out to our Trucktoberfest while inventory is up and prices are down. Expressway Ford, more Fords for less.
.507 left to play in the ball game. It's 4th down and 3. So the Indians will line up to punt this one away. 30-6, Johnston City with the lead. Trying to finish the regular season 8-1. So there's the punt by Fort. That's a good punt. Kate Allen from the 26-yard line. Allen looking for some room. He'll take it across the 35 to about the 37. So, again, you know, I mentioned before that break that sometimes if you go on the road in the first round, it almost plays for a better perspective, because if you are on the road in the first round and you do win in the first round, you're going to be at home in round 2 no matter what.
Right.
And it all depends on what the draw is. If you look at Fairfield last year, Fairfield was a 6-3 team. They went up to North Mac, won that game, and played at home in the second round. It's all about draw. It's all about where you get seated, and we won't know till tomorrow night.
And this could be a blessing in disguise, because like you said, Cole, this Johnston City team they're going to make a deep run.
Yeah, absolutely.
This is a quarterfinal caliber team.
1st and 10 here for Driscoll. Play action pass. He'll throw it near side. That's tipped and incomplete. Not sure if he was looking for Milhorn or Allen there.
I thought he had Milhorn open. But, you know, going back to that point, to play this caliber of a team week 9, that prepares you for a first-round playoff game better than anything.
Yeah.
You know, there's been times, you know, you play your best opponent week 6, let's say, and then you got a 3-week timetable playing 1-8, 2-7 football teams. Then you get the playoffs, and you got to ramp it back up. Sometimes it works against you. So, you know, you can look at it that way. You're playing a deep run level playoff team. You battled them. You had some bright spots, but you learned from it.
2nd down and 10 under center is Driscoll. They toss it right side to Pollard, and he's just got nowhere to go. He was met as soon as he caught the football, and
yeah,
it'll be 3rd and long. 4:40 left to play.
76. As I've said, I've called his name all night. Roper Sanders Jr. To me, that's an all-conference defensive tackle.
Yeah.
He may be the most dominant defensive tackle I've seen all season. He is in the backfield every snap. And at 270, 5'11", guys that short and that are that stocky and big, it's hard to get under their pads as an offensive lineman. Built low to the ground, strong as an ox. He is just a force.
3rd and 14. They run the option again, and Driscoll pitches it. Pollard couldn't corral it. Picked up by Cossey, and he'll run it in for a touchdown. Cossey has his 3rd touchdown of the night, and that's the cherry on top for the Indians.
Yeah. That's going to make the score look worse than the game actually was.
That's what I hate about it.
That's
because you'll look at this and you'll think that the Indians.
Yeah.
And obviously a lot closer to that, I feel like.
And that's a tough thing to do. If you don't run the option consistently, especially to the left. Yeah. When the quarterback's running that to the left and you're asking him to pitch that with your left hand, if you don't run that game in and game out, that's the risk.
Driscoll was, that was more of a drive-in, kick it to the corner for a 3-point shot.
Right.
Driscoll. Yeah.
If you run the option, you try to do it to his right side, but Driscoll just – if it's not your go-to play, if you don't run consistent, sometimes it's tough to execute.
So the Indians will go for 2 as they now lead 36-6. Fort under center. And he will give it off. This is going to be Weaver who will get in for 2.
Well, the side official down here said no, and the far official said yes. So I guess the yes overrules the no. At this point, it doesn't matter.
38-6. Indians lead it with 4:02 left to play. And
they're discussing it still, Cole. No, they call it no good.
They call no good. So that might be important for some that took the spread. And either way, it's now 36-6. So we'll step aside for a 30-second break on 97.3 WRUL.
In 1925, when Farrell Hospital opened, they knew that families in El Dorado and the surrounding communities needed a hospital they could depend on, close to home. Over the years, Farrell grew to meet the needs of patients. Today, Farrell Hospital has grown to offer advanced emergency care, orthopedics, cancer, surgery, imaging, lab, and more, always keeping more care right here close to home. Farrell Hospital. You can depend on us.
So the scoop and score helps make the score look a little more lopsided than what this game really was. It is now 36-6. The Indians lead with 4:02 left to play in the ball game. Cole Carter and Chris Myers, we're coming to you live from the Carmi Lumber press box, alongside Haley Winkleman and Kai Roberts. For those of you watching on the WRUL Sports YouTube channel, it is Asher Penrod getting us on the air on the radio side at the WRUL studio. Again, me and Chris will be live tomorrow morning for the Saturday morning sports show. Then we'll be live on the air next Saturday, assumingly. Sometimes they play those playoff games on Fridays, just depends. But more than likely next Saturday for the first round of the IHSA playoffs. Kickoff to Cade Allen, who gets it from the 22-yard line. Allen tries to go to the near sideline, and he'll be brought down at the 40. That is where the Bulldogs will start, and that is what we're going to see. And I think that's the right call here.
I think so, too. Johnston City looks like they got a lot of their starters still out there, so Johnston City may see us with our JV and just try to return the favor, I would say. Game well in hand.
So, again, Carmi will finish the regular season 7-2. And, it's take your guess as far as where that will put them for the playoffs next week. Could be here at home, could be on the road, could be 30 minutes away, 45 minutes away, could be 2 hours away. You just never truly know.
Yeah. I can see Johnston City's coaches gathering some players, so I would say they'll may call a timeout and get their starters out of here.
This is Jazz Duckworth who gets the handoff off the right side, and he'll be brought down at the line of scrimmage. Little to no gain there. And these Bulldog JV players have got their fair share of varsity action this season with some lopsided wins.
On the other side of the spectrum, Yeah, and John City's calling timeout. I'm assuming that will be to get their JV squad in the game as well.
We'll go ahead and keep it here with 3:31 left to play in the ball game as the Indians lead 36-6. As far as Johnston City, they'll find themselves a top 5, possibly a top 4 seed in the Southern 2A bracket. How it works: you take the 32 teams in 2A, you'll sort them 16 down south, 16 up north. Obviously, the winner of the South and the North will play in the state title game Thanksgiving weekend. But Chris, I think back to my senior year, we were the 9 seed, 6-3, going to Bismarck to play another 6-3 team. Almost won the game.
Yeah.
And there were some 7-2 teams that year that played some powerhouses and lost at home. Like I said, you never know where you're going to end up at.
And that's rare, 6-3, getting to play another 6-3, because normally a 6-3 is going. The way it mathematically works is
there's a lot more math to it than I thought there was.
In most cases, a 9-0 is facing a 5-4. Yeah. An 8-1's getting a 6-3, and then the 7-2s are just duking it out, kind of right in the middle. But that's kind of a fluke draw there for 2 6-3s to play in the first round. So, I would say Johnston City, Cesar may be seeded 1-2 in the south region.
Well, then again, Cesar-Valera will be 1A. So
that's correct.
They're 1A.
That's
so,
okay. Correction. They're definitely a 1 seed.
I have to look. There's a couple of unbeatens.
Yeah.
There's a false start against Carmi over on the right side.
Yeah. And JC has put their youngsters in as well. So,
but I looked at the playoff outlook a couple of days ago, and there were a couple of matchups like tonight, 7-1 against 7-1. There were a couple of 8-0 against 8-0 as far as those top tier teams in 2A. I don't believe there are any teams kind of on the border as far as 2A, 1A, 2A, 3A. Do know Fairfield's back up to 3A this year. Cesar-Valera will be 1A. So no chance Carmi will see either one of those two teams.
No.
There's still a possibility they could see Johnston City later on in the postseason as well. It depends on how it lays out. Here's a handoff that goes to Merrick Milhorn. Merrick will try to get to the outside, then just kind of slides down at around the 30, nowhere to go. And Bulldogs behind the chains, big time here. It'll be 3rd and 15, and 3 minutes left to play.
Let's say, JC, if they're 2A, which they should be, they could be, 2 seed maybe. I don't know who'd be ahead of them.
I would say
in the South, though.
I
just have to see who else is undefeated.
It's going to be 2, 3, 4.
You got Casey Westfield in there, who's having a good season. Barely lost to Mount Carmel. Whether they may be 1A though, Casey. So it'll be interesting to see. Either way, Cesar's probably going to be at the very top in 1A. JC's going to be, you're right, top 3 in 2A. So it'll be interesting.
Anderson hands off to Jazz Duckworth off the right side. He'll get it across the 35, and he'll bring up 4th down as we approach the 2-minute mark. Here in this one, 36-6, Johnston City lead. So looking at the playoff outlook, there were 6 undefeated teams coming into tonight, that being Seneca, Maroa Forsyth, Arthur, Bloomington Central Catholic, Shelbyville, and Downs Tri-Valley. 2 of those teams played either a 7-1 or an 8-0 team. And some of those teams will be north. So you're right, JC could find themselves somewhere in that 2 seed to 5 seed range. It all depends on where they cut the line as far as north and south.
Right.
As false start here against the Bulldogs on the punt. So we are down to 92 seconds left to play. So again, the playoff pairing show will be tomorrow night. The IHSA will announce those at around 7, 8 o'clock. And as soon as we get the word, we'll post that on the WRUL's Facebook page. Kurt Simon will then have to call their AD to figure out a time and day. Usually around Sunday or Monday is when that will be decided on. But tomorrow night is when we'll at least know who we're going to play and where.
And you can see, obviously, WRUL. Want to look there first, local?
Yes, absolutely.
But if you want to know around the state, you can just go to the IHSA.org website.
They'll play the live show on the website. Here's the punt by Milhorn. It goes here to the near sideline, and it'll be down at the 40-yard line. So that is where the Indians will take over here in the final 56 seconds. 2 kneel downs, and this one will be over. So the Black Diamond Conference will play out. Cesar-Valera, they won tonight, or if it's not over yet, they are going to win over Flora. So they'll be undefeated 9-0. That's their first conference title since 2009. Indians right behind them, 8-1 in second place. Carmi finishes in third place at 7-2. Second straight 7-2 campaign for the Bulldogs. Third straight playoff appearance this year for Carmi. And I think that's one thing, Chris, is this team made the playoffs. You don't want to overlook that. You know, there was a 3-year drought where Bulldogs didn't play in the postseason. Obviously, tonight this loss stinks, but still a lot to play for next weekend, obviously.
And this score isn't indicative of the game. I know that's a cliche, but it really isn't, because there were 2 big plays that changed this game. You know, the 4th and 7 touchdown and the 3rd and 17 was what changed the game completely. But the up until midway through the 4th quarter, the Bulldogs were battling, keeping this, competitive, respectable. They kind of got a garbage touchdown on a fumble there. But for all the Bulldogs have been through, you never want to use, as I've said, injuries as a crutch. But there is no question the difference Caleb Sievers and Eli Bryant and Beckhoff make to this football team. I firmly believe that if we're 100% healthy, this is a tighter game.
Absolutely.
This is a battle. But nonetheless, it's the part of the game, it's the variable that's so much different than any other sport. And I've said, as a football player, you accept it. It's the one factor, the one it factor. If you can stay healthy, it's a difference maker. Johnston, it'd be like Johnston City being without, Evan Sanders or Keaton Fort, players like that. It makes a difference to your team to have your top horses healthy. But with that said, the kids that have remained out there, what they've done to just overcome that adversity all year, and with the next man up, let's go to battle and keep fighting. Heart, just toughness, courage, battle in every week. That's a testament as to why they're 7-2 and going to the playoffs. So that's still the positive. As much as this stings tonight, you respect the football team you lost to, because you're not losing to a weak team.
Mm-hmm.
Have we played like this tonight a week ago, we're probably beating El Dorado 30, 40 points. Regardless, in a way, as we talked about earlier, Cole, it's a blessing in disguise, because this team is a deep run playoff team that you faced. So it just prepares you for next week. So you take it you're not happy with the score, but you take it at the positives in this game. You learn from the mistakes, but you take the positive things you did, you build on them, and hey, you're still playing football. A lot of teams are packing it up tonight, but this team's still moving on. They accomplished their goal to get to the postseason, and still a lot to be proud of for this football team, this community.
Final score, Johnston City wins 36-6. They improved to 8-1. Bulldogs fall to 7-2 with the first round of the playoffs coming up next weekend. We'll step aside for a 3-minute break. We come back, we'll have the Roark Transport postgame show right here at 97.3 WRUL.
Great teamwork is no accident.
David and the gang at Hale Body Shop salute the area athletes.
Just as in sports, the team at Hale Body Shop work together to make sure you get your car back as quickly as possible.
When it comes to collision repair, more and more people choose the team way out there on Possum Road.
Hale Body Shop in Carmi.
David and the gang are proud supporters of area athletes.
Hamilton Memorial Hospital family clinics are growing to meet the needs of our communities. We're proud to continue to expand by offering acute, urgent care services by welcoming Dr. Brian Sloan to our McLeansboro Family Clinic location. With over 20 years of emergency medicine experience, Dr. Sloan provides acute, urgent care visits for those times when you can't wait to feel better. From colds and sore throats to care after sports-related injuries and more. Hamilton Memorial Hospital Family Clinics. Here for you now, like we've always been. To schedule an appointment, call 618-643-2988.
What a hit! Now that's a playmaker.
With Huck's Bucks Big Rewards, you can be a playmaker too. Hi folks, I'm Chris Myers.
And I'm Cole Carter. Download the Huck's Bucks Big Rewards app now and save with great coupons on gas, snacks, and more.
And make sure to fuel up at the Bulldog Spirit Pump at Huck's. A portion of your fill-up goes to support Carmi White County Unit 5 schools.
And that makes you a playmaker in the community. Huck's Market, headquartered in Carmi.
You can buy more of what you want when you save on what you need. Save on meal ingredients by shopping Little Giant Grocery Outlet in Carmi. Little Giant's team of buyers are constantly scanning wholesalers, looking for pantry favorites and meal ingredients at astonishing savings just so you can shop confidently, knowing that you can come in anytime and find great deals from fresh cuts of meat and grocery items to deli, fresh produce, and frozen goods. See just how much more your dollar buys at Little Giant Grocery, Carmi, Illinois.
This is Nancy J. Winter, CPA. Life is always about change, and most businesses have to evolve to succeed. You want to be the best at what you do and do the things you like the most. We want to help you achieve that goal. We can help you design your records to evaluate what's the most profitable aspects. We can also help you evaluate what services are complementary and best offered together to your market niche customers. You know your business, but having the records to back up your business decisions can help with a business loan or just with peace of mind. Contact Nancy J. Winter, CPA, Carmi, 382-2364.
Doing business in today's world can be complicated, time-consuming, and expensive. People's National Bank is here to help your business not only survive, but thrive. With modern-day products such as remote deposit capture, ACH payments, merchant card services, and commercial line of credit sweeps, we can get you paid faster, protect your risk, and make your money work hard for you. Hi, this is Melinda with People's National Bank. Give me a call today and get started. People's National Bank, member FDIC.
Final score, the Bulldogs fall to Johnston City tonight, 36-6. Bulldogs in the regular season at 7-2. Still going to be in the playoffs next week. We'll find out their opponent tomorrow night. The postgame show is delivered courtesy of Roark Transport, hauling fuel, rock, grain, and more to help our community grow. Call 265-3665 for details. Well, Chris, we made the point. I don't think the score really indicates how this game was. You know, Carmi, I think especially just falling down in that second quarter, 24-6 at halftime. It was going to be so hard to come back. But you really take one or two plays here and there. It's a totally different ballgame.
Absolutely. You know, when it was 8-6 and Johnston City just looked like they were going to go on another one of their steamroller-type drives, they're on about our 40-yard line, 4th and 1. In most cases, you're thinking, okay, that's just a gimme. And our defense just absolutely bowed up, got a huge stop there. We're in business. You know, I just felt our kids started believing at that point, okay, we can get in this thing. Their second drive, we still had them 4th and 7. And on a 4th and 7, you know, that's twice we forced them into 4th down situations. But you just got to credit a good play call. We committed to the run. Johnston City sneaks the tight end over the middle. When you got to, like I said, if you looked at our formation defensively all night, 5 down linemen, your ends are down on the line of scrimmage. Your corners walk up as defenders, basically run defenders. That means your linebackers are tight. Your only 2 back defenders are the safeties. So when you have to commit to that, I mean, it just makes the passing game open up, you know, and that's what they do so well. They snuck the end over the middle, got the touchdown. You know, credit Johnston City with the play call. To me, the one that hurt was when we had them 3rd and 17 later in the second quarter in their territory. They were probably on, I want to say, about the 30-yard line.
33.
Yeah, the 33. 3rd and 17. We get them off the field there. They're punting. We're getting the ball with decent field position. It's a one-possession game. It's a different game.
Yeah.
But, again, credit their running game. Their running game creates so many just difficult situations for your defense because you have to honor that run constantly. I mean, when you got a 230-pound fullback, when it's 3rd and 12 and you can just say, hey, fullback dive, you're getting first downs, you have to honor that run. And they just snuck that wing back up the sideline, hit him in stride, and to me that was a point in the game where it was right there.
Yeah.
But credit Carmi for coming out in that third quarter, getting them off the field that first drive. Had a chance. You know, we were about on the 10, 12-yard line. Had a chance to get there and score. Just couldn't quite finish it. Had we punched that one in there, you know, kept it somewhat closer, I think the score is tighter. It's a more competitive game. But I think after that point, we just kind of ran out of gas. Yeah. And, you know, you look at the score, you know, we ran an option play, which we don't do. We fumble, they scoop and score. That's kind of a garbage-type touchdown. So that's why I say the score doesn't indicate – how our kids played as far as heart goes and commitment and just such a better effort than we had last week. You know, so to to me, that's something to hold your head high about if you're the Bulldogs tonight. And this team you lost to, like I said, Johnston City.
Very good team.
Good a team as there is in Southern Illinois, maybe Illinois in 2A.
Yeah.
So there's no question they're going to be a deep playoff team. Yeah, but the Bulldogs overall can hold their heads high as the man himself comes in to talk to us.
Being joined by Kurt Simon. And Kurt, I think after last week, you kind of wondered, was the effort going to be there tonight? I think there's no question. The effort was there from your guys. Just 1, 2, 3 plays was the difference in that game.
Yeah. And you give all credit to Johnston City. I mean, they came out and played a really good game. They're big, they're physical, they're fast. They're a good football team. And, of course, we got shorthanded with some injuries or whatnot. We're not necessarily the same team we were, 4 weeks ago or whatever, but that's football. That's the way it goes. And, they made the plays tonight. We didn't.
Yeah, and you said that. You said this week it was going to come down to that. One was a 4th and 7. It's just a good play call. But this offense, I've been saying on Outline, Coach, you don't realize how difficult it is for your linebackers to defend this. The backs are so tight.
Yeah.
The linemen are foot to foot. You can't see where that ball's going half the time. But you have to honor the run with the way they run the ball. I mean, when they set up the play action, it's just it becomes so easy.
And it is that, but it all comes down to players. And they have some pretty good players.
Yeah.
But like you said, I really don't doubt our effort.
Mm-hmm.
We just didn't make plays tonight. We weren't staying on blocks. And that's because they were doing a good job. They were flowing to the ball, and so it was really helping. I mean, our run game could not get going at all, and so that's something we're going to have to get better at. We're going to see a similar team probably next week, but. It gives us an opportunity. You got to reflect back on the season. I mean, we've won 7 out of 9 games. We've had some big injuries that have changed the course of our season, so to speak, or whatever. But we got a bunch of kids that work really hard, care about one another, care about what we're trying to do, and they'll bounce back. They'll bounce back and play a good game. I mean, I can recall back to week 2 or whatever against Hamilton County and didn't play very well, and then had an off week, and then came back and played Sessa really well and could have won the game. So it's just a matter of regrouping, doing what having a little bit different week as far as the schedule goes or whatever. But I believe in these kids. These kids will come back and play hard, and we did. You get an opportunity to play a playoff game. There's a lot of schools right now putting up their pads.
Mm-hmm.
We did things really good this year. And the week, you get a ball bounced the right way or whatever, and anything can happen. So my hats are off to Johnston City. They did a great job tonight. They're a good football team. But I'm looking forward to getting back together with our kids and doing our routine for another week.
I think what sums up, you talk about the heart your team plays with. Coming out at halftime 24-6, the kids could have just said, well, let's fold. The way they played the third quarter and the early part of the fourth quarter, they battled. They came out, got them off the field, had a good drive going, just couldn't quite finish it. But your team never quit playing.
No, they didn't. JC just did a really good job of running the ball and keeping the ball. And that's when you run the ball as good as they do, that's what it does. It keeps the ball away from our offense. I don't know what the time of possession was, but I'm sure it was lopsided a little bit or whatever. And then, of course, we had to get – but, of course, we've been trying to work on our passing game a little bit. And there was signs of it that we got a chance.
Yeah.
But we just got to get a little bit better. We can't put quite much arch on the ball. Got to throw some of those in there. You got to make sure we run this route and don't get tripped up and fall. We got a chance.
Yeah.
I'm really proud of our seniors. They've been a good group, good leaders all year long. And like I said, just looking forward to having another opportunity to play.
And I think lastly for me, sorry, Cole, I was just going to say, I think if anything, if there's the blessing in disguise from this, to me, that's a deep run playoff team you played tonight, without question. And it prepares you for next week.
Absolutely.
To play a quality
Absolutely.
opponent like this and
No
battle
question
this
about
week, it's actually, hey, we've played a really good – now that prepares us. And we're battle tested. And going into the playoffs, I think we're going to be kind of up to speed and know what we got to do as far as whoever our opponent is. That's a really good test to get you to the postseason.
Absolutely. Yeah, you couldn't. And then even, I think about that for us, playing them last game of the year, Johnston City, who played all the others in our conference, and then their last 2 games, Assessor and Carmi. So they it's the same way with them as well. But yeah, it's always good to play somebody really good at the end of the year. That's kind of when you're in a conference that's not a closed conference like ours. You always get your non-conference team, and you try to pick a couple, either 1 week 9, 1 week 1, or whatever, so you can get ready for the playoffs or whatever. But yeah, this is just one of those nights that you got to give credit where credit is due, and they did a great job. They got a good football team, but I'm proud of the way our kids battled through the whole thing, and I'm looking forward to going back to work with them, tomorrow, and getting back on track Monday, and seeing if we can put one together for next week. Yes, and like you said, you never know where you're going to wind up. I know this year, there's a lot of years that we can get pretty close to where we think where we're going to go, where we're going to play, but there's a lot of 4-4 teams. Just kind of hard to see this year. But it looks like we could be an 8-9 seed, 8-9-10 seed somewhere in there. I mean, there's a chance that you could have a home playoff game again. Just depends on what all the other teams do or whatever. But
so obviously,
got to put this one behind us.
It's not their last game, but those 8 seniors and what they mean to this program, and they really put all out there tonight. I know, especially Caleb. I'm sure he would have killed somebody to be out there tonight. But just how much has this group meant to you this year?
They're a great group of guys. They work hard together. They care about the game. And they're football players, especially, all of them. They've always been extremely coachable. They played with a group of seniors last year that were very similar. They're still we feel like this is still the core of a good group of couple groups that came through together, and they've been a joy to coach. And I trust that they will come to work Monday. That's the biggest thing about it from a coaching standpoint, is I don't have to worry about someone going to be here, someone not going to be here, this, that, these guys will be there, and they will believe that we'll put a game plan together and have a chance to win. And that's just a tribute to them, their work ethic, and their attitude. And I can't say enough about them. They've been a really good group to coach.
Well, congratulations, Coach, because you mission accomplished, postseason, a lot to look forward to.
That's what you strive for. Obviously, we always try to, the first goal is to win enough games to get to the postseason. Win a conference championship. We got one of those 2. And it's like I told those guys down there. I mean, winning a big game is great, and it's the great feeling when you walk out. You win a playoff game, and it's a whole nother story. Okay, and you're going to practice again the next week. It's a lot of fun. So it's a lot of work that goes into it. You're going to have a really good opponent. That's what the playoffs are like. You don't have any weak sisters in the playoffs, so to speak, or whatever. So you got to gear up and do it again. That's what it's all about.
Now, this is your 27th year, Coach. Correct me if I'm wrong.
27th year here.
This is your 18th year in the playoffs, so you're doing something right, Coach.
Well, it's gone all right.
Thanks for your time, Coach. We'll talk to you next week.
Congratulations.
That's Kurt Simon, as again the Bulldogs fall tonight to Johnston City by a final score of 36-6, and like Coach said, we'll watch our TVs tomorrow night to figure out who the Bulldogs will face next weekend. A couple things. Our play of the game, it's brought to you by First Mid Bank and Trust. We need a partner you can bank on. Count on the great folks at First Mid Bank and Trust in Carmi. Obviously, you want to use a play that your team uses to make the difference in the game, but I think that 3rd and 17 touchdown pass to Cossie, it helped them get a 3-score lead, and they just never looked back from there.
Yeah, it was the backbreaker, because of where we had them on the field. The 3rd and 17, you fully expect your defense building a little momentum to get them off the field. Then you have decent field position. But again, just credit a great play call and an offense that runs the ball that well. That's what they do to you. They cause your defensive backs to have to, what I call, peek into the backfield, honor the run. And when you do that for a split second, that's when they get you. They run that wing back up the sideline. Nobody sees him. Boom. So just credit them with 2 big plays when they had to make them.
Bounce back report comes your way thanks to the good folks at Wabash Christian Therapy on Oak Street in Carmi. Get back in the game and call Wabash Christian today. Well, Chris, like I said, season's not over.
No.
And depending on what happens, who Carmi gets, could be at home, could be on the road. You never know. But I think, like you said, I think Carmi can take so many positives from tonight and fuel them for next weekend.
Yeah, and there may be folks at home right now who are thinking, when I'm congratulating Coach Simon, saying, hey, it's a positive, that I'm crazy. But, you got to understand, if you played the game, if you know the ebbs and flows of the game, you know the injuries Carmi's had. You know, when three guys go down, but you know one of them was leading
best players.
One of them was leading Southern Illinois in rushing and goes down. Your biggest lineman and you don't have numbers to begin with. It's a crushing blow. You know, I have no doubt in my mind, and you know I've said this, you know, off air. If we're healthy, I think this is a different game tonight. I really do. You know, we were 2 minutes and 30 seconds from beating Cesar. Credit Cesar. That's why they're 9-0. They made the plays they had to. But, you know, I truly believe if we're fully healthy, we come in tonight a little different. This game's a battle. But nonetheless, the way they improved from how they played the week before, and to play a team like this, you know, it was a competitive game really until that 3rd and 17. And then obviously, you know, we just ran out of gas in the fourth quarter. You know, that, like I said, this Johnston City team is as good of a team as there is in Southern Illinois in 2A. I have no doubt they're a quarterfinal level minimum type playoff team. You don't be shocked if you see them back in the 3rd, 4th round, you know, semifinals again. So there's no shame, you know, in a loss tonight. You know, we're shorthanded, but we played so much better. We gave ourselves opportunities and we battled. So this is going to prepare us well for next week. And you heard Coach say it. I think these boys are going to take it as a positive. They know they're in the postseason. Congratulations on getting there. Getting to the playoffs is what every program wants to do, no matter where you are, what level. That's your goal. They've done that. They've just built on this. Say, hey, we played one of the best teams around, hung with them for a while. But the good news is, he said it best. A lot of teams tonight are hanging it up for the fall. And, you know, they're done. We're still playing football. And so it's a lot to look forward to next Saturday.
And again, stay tuned tomorrow to the WRUL Facebook page. As soon as we find out who Carmi plays, we'll post it. You can watch the pairing show on the IHSA website. And, again, we'll do our best to guess tomorrow morning on the Saturday morning sports show. We'll do some science, but really no way of knowing until they announce that tomorrow evening. So a big thanks to Asher Penrod back at the WRUL studio. For Haley Winkleman and Kai Roberts, for those of you watching on the WRUL Sports YouTube channel. For Chris Myers, I'm Cole Carter. Have a great night, Bulldog fans.